And gang, we back at it, man. We want to thank y'all for tuning in today, gang. We got an exclusive lot that y'all need to see. Sorry for any inconvenience yesterday, but the Most High put it on us, gang, and I think I think we cracked the code today, gang. I think we cracked the code. So what we gonna do, Band-Aid gang? We gonna stay at Zoro's Ranch, because at the end of the day, the content that we got to show you today, all are gonna want to stay in this same.
Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1.
And they
Just testing it, y'all.
testing 1 2. All right, let's get ready to start this live. And thank you for coming in, everybody. We just wanted to do a quick sound check before we get to the meat and potatoes. Band-Aid gang. It's your boy C-Dub, Mr. I Ain't Said a Word. But you know what I'm saying with the
Real Angel.
So y'all tap in, hit that like button if you just got in. We're exclusive right here. We're gonna stay right here at the road. We really believe this is at the end where everything is gonna be found out, gang. So please hit that like button, share.
Amid the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, there are growing calls from New Mexico leaders to investigate disturbing claims made against New Mexico Ranch.
Those claims include the possibility that 2 women were buried on the ranch. 13 Annalisa Pardo is here to explain.
Jess, the New Mexico Public Land Commissioner wants an investigation into claims about Epstein Zorro Ranch, including the claim that 2 women are buried. But the Department of Justice, it needs more. Shrouded in mystery, no one really knows all that may have happened at convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch in Stanley, New Mexico. But the release of files about the Epstein case reveals disturbing claims.
So there's questions about Zorro Ranch, New Mexico, what went down there, why it was not fully investigated, why people were not held accountable, and frankly, as a New Mexican, to anyone there, my heart goes out to you.
A newly released email claims a former ranch staffer has information about 2 women who were killed and buried there.
I'm horrified when I learned something new, especially when I learned that state land could have been involved in some of these monstrous activities.
In 2019, the New Mexico State Land Office canceled its leases with Epstein and offered the state land to law enforcement for an investigation. But Land Commissioner Stephanie Garcia Richards says nothing happened. She's now demanding action, sending this letter asking both the U.S. Department of Justice and the New Mexico Department of Justice to investigate the allegation. In response, the NMDOJ says, quote, "The allegations appear to be unsubstantiated and stem from an anonymous individual referencing events that purportedly occurred more than 6 years ago. To meaningfully evaluate these allegations, need access to the complete, unaltered communications and any associated materials. Once such information is obtained, our office will review it to determine whether any further..."
And this is what we're talking about. When you look at that, gang, you can clearly tell the way that's built on top of that hill, that there are tunnels inside of here. Now, on this live, we will show you some exclusive things that a lot of people haven't seen. And gang, I do not know why they haven't seized it yet, because I really believe they haven't seized it because our United States government has been involved with this type of activity for quite some time. So let's go ahead and continue. This is going to shock you, gang. We're going to stay on this live stream. Please double tap the screen. We're going to stay at Epstein's Ranch. On Zorro Ranch, we truly believe that there are cloning of children, and there are more than 2 bodies. Let's continue before we go to the next clip.
action is warranted.
I mean, I'm a little bit frustrated by it. Here we are 7 years later, after the cancellation of the leases, after opening up state land for access to law enforcement for an investigation. To my
Double tap that screen.
Place. I'm kind of curious to know why. You know, on its face, the allegation itself may not have a lot of credibility, but just when taken in context of the larger body of knowledge that we have, things that did.
Right here. Pay attention to that terrain, because you're going to see this type of terrain again. You're going to see this type of terrain. The reason why it's built like this, gang, because there are underground tunnels. There is Tom Ford Ranch. In this area, Santa Fe area, there are nothing but tunnels. In this area, on this live, double tap the screen for the like button. If you can't double tap, there's 3 buttons on your right hand side. Hit that and you'll find the like button in there. Support the channel if you feel like you want to. Band-Aid gang, let's go.
At Zoro Ranch, I think it's worth pursuing.
We also reached out to the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Mexico, who was addressed in the letter, but we were referred to the FBI. Back to you.
Annalisa, thank you. Right now, 1,200 acres around the Zoro Ranch are not to any party. The private land on that ranch sold to a private party who is not leasing the state land.
Put a 1 in, put a 1 in the chat. Put 1 in the chat. You can hear me, Band-Aid.
Treated his insane proposal as an interesting intellectual problem rather than a confession of intended crimes. And while these conversations were happening, Epstein had the infrastructure to actually do it. Deep in the New Mexico desert sits Zoro Ranch, the property where Epstein planned to make more related, more deliberately designed. Once you understood what building was actually for. First thing contractors noticed when working on the property was the tunnels. Not small utility passages for...
Did we not just mention that there were tunnels? Double tap my screen. I told you on this ranch, and they're going to connect. Double tap my screen. We're going to show you why New Mexico is absolutely crooked and was involved in this. And see, what you don't know yet is we're going to find a whole lot of evidence on Zorro Ranch. Promise me, all the keys are going to come from Zorro Ranch. This is why everything has been reducted in those files, because it all went on right here. Double tap my screen.
Pipes and wires. Full-sized underground corridors connecting buildings, reinforced with concrete and secured with electronic locks. When work asked, toll was for moving between buildings. But New Mexico doesn't get weather that would justify...
Now, did they not say move between buildings? Are we talking about Tom Ford's Ranch? What buildings? What buildings you need to move in between? Pay attention to the terrain. We're going to find a lot of dead bodies on that ranch. Let's go, gang.
At this level of construction. Blueprint, part of the tunnel. In one section, see through construction gaps that passages led on his...
Tom Ford? Yeah, Salty, we know. Tom Ford, who is also mentioned and possibly could be the lover. Now, what we got here, gang, on this channel, me and Diamond Gang has said, you know what, we're going to stay right here at Watchers? We're going to stay right here. We're going to do so much content on these tunnels that the Most High, we're going to find bodies.
Plans. Finished passes, not future expansion. Ready to use. Where they went, he was told not to worry about sections outside his assigned work area. Those hidden tunnels led to a building set far back from the main house. Almost no windows on 3 walls.
Double tap the screen,
The
let's
fourth
go.
wall, the one with windows, faced empty desert where you could see anyone approaching from miles away, but nobody could see inside. Staff were told this was Dean's private office, a place for undisturbed work, but offices don't need underground access. They don't need soundproofing designed to prevent any noise from escaping. And they definitely don't need independent power supplies capable of running all systems,
Salty. We're gonna
even
show
if
that
main
tonight.
power was cut. What was that building really for? The answer became clearer when you looked at an obstructed property, the medical facility. Officially described as a private clinic for Epstein.
Do you know that Epstein had a doctor that was there on that ranch every day for 24 hours? Why would you have a doctor there? Why would you have a doctor there? 24 hours on that property. We're going to see that tonight. See the bodies? And just like Salty said in the chat, he ordered acid. A tanker's full of acid. For what? And this is the thing. How did he get clearance for this? How does he get clearance to have a runway for planes to land? How did he get the clearance to land these helicopters? How did he get this type of airspace in such a testing area? We're going to get to that. Let's go, Band-Aid gang.
Healthcare needs. The facility was far too multiple examination rooms with surgical lighting.
Examination rooms. What did the lady say on our last live when she went to the Zorro Ranch? She was waking up getting operated on. They're cloning. Pam Bondi, report your ass to the principal's office.
Pharmaceutical storage. But workers recognized. Recovery rooms designed to accommodate numerous patients simultaneously. One contractor who installed ventilation in the medical building described through and mounting examination bays of them, each set up identically, each with the equipment needed for prenatal care. This wasn't a clinic for treating occasional illness or injury. This was infrastructure pregnancies. The medical facility connected directly to the tunnel system. Could be moved there from the window listing, from anywhere on the property without ever being complete privacy, total control, everything arranged so that pregnancies and births are entirely underground, hidden inside innovation. Epstein's emails to scientists included
Chrome, and we're going to talk about Chrome and these fear. When a child has fear, that's when they get the Chrome. And they give it to other beings. Thank you, gang. I know what time it is. I've been doing about this for a long time. I'm ADAP chamber over here. See, we got 30 people in here, gang. We got 30 people in here. 33. It was 30. Y'all better pay attention to the numbers. Let's go.
Genetic screening and prenatal development. He asked detailed questions about heredity, about which traits were most reliably parent to child, about optimal conditions for development. He was gathering information, building knowledge, preparing to implement his program with as much scientific backing as he could acquire.
Okay, are you still getting the stuttering? Oh, we probably get a little vibration. Turn the key. Truck vibrating. Double tap. It's the vibrate from the truck. Okay, gang, we should. All right, put a 1 in the chat. Let me hear you play this right here. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear me. We're connecting up our Bluetooth. This is a very interesting live. It's a must that you guys pay attention to what's going on. We got 16 in the building, double screen. Thanks for coming in. Thank you. Thank you.
Wanted to raise them according to specific theories about developing superior humans. That's where the ranch's master base fled. Workers called it the gymnasium, but the design made no sense for size or sports. The main room was enormous. Foot ceilings and walls painted in strange geometric patterns. Black and white shapes that created optical illusions made it hard to judge distances. So any who stared at the two.
Pay attention to those colors, black and white checkerboard. Mason symbols, black and white checkerboards. A lot of what's going on in his couple's residence. Let's go.
Before new flooring was installed, Symbols were clearly visible on the concrete floor. Circles with radiating lines, star patterns, diagrams mixed with designs that looked ritualistic. One photographed them because they were deliberate. He asked what they were for and was told they were decorations from a previous owner. But
thank you, gang. I'm about to go ahead. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, gang. I'm about. Okay. Oh, it's back. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you. This is what they do to me, gang. This has been going on. Thank you for the. This has been going on for the past couple of days since I've been carrying this type of content. You gotta remember his voice and all of this stuff is going through this modem, through this cell phone, and these people know exactly what you're doing, so they try to fuck your live up. All right, hold on, gang. I'm about to restart. They trying to sabotage my live. They trying to stop me dropping this. I have a lot of couple CCs that we contest, and when they hear that you're dropping nothing but science, this is what they do. Put a 1 in the chat. You hear me, Band-Aid gang? Let's go.
symbols weren't random. Epstein believed sacred geometry had actual effects on human consciousness and development. In his emails to researchers, he referenced studies on environmental influences on cognitive development, on how visual patterns could affect neural formation in young children. He was constructing a theory, pseudoscientific but elaborate, about how exposing children to specific geometric patterns from infancy would enhance their intelligence. The ceremonial room was designed as an education space, where his offspring would spend hours surrounded by these symbols. The optical illusion walls would challenge their perception. The hidden floor patterns would influence their developing minds. At least, that's what Epstein believed. Heavy-duty mounting points covered the ceiling in a specific configuration, far more than any normal equipment would need. They formed a pattern, positioned with obvious precision. Around the room's perimeter were elevated platforms, observation posts where someone could stand and watch whatever happened on the main floor below. This was designed for monitoring subjects, for conducting experiments, for implementing Epstein's theories about optimized human development under controlled conditions. Staff were never allowed in this room when Epstein was using it. On certain nights, particularly during new moons, they would be told to stay away from that entire section of the property. Guards would be posted to ensure nobody wandered over. The next morning, cleaning crews would find the space disturbed, furniture moved, strange residues on the floor, occasionally damage to walls that needed repair. What happened during those restricted nights? Former employees noticed the timing followed astronomical patterns. New moons especially, but also solstices and equinoxes. Dates that have significance in various esoteric traditions. Dates when Epstein apparently believed certain activities would be most effective. Outside the buildings, scattered across the desert, stood massive stones. Each one weighed several tons, transported to the site with enormous effort and expense. From ground level, they looked decorative. From the second floor of the main house, you could see they formed a geometric pattern, positioned to mark specific astronomical sight lines. Epstein had consulted with researchers who studied chronobiology.
Who studied chronobiology. Chronobiology. So what we're going to do, Band-Aid gang, yeah, we're going to show y'all what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. There's cloning going on. That's why there's so many missing children that we just seen in the Epstein file. A shelf with children stacked on top of the shelf with COVID masks on. Where are those children? So what we're going to do, Band-Aid gang, we're going to show you something. Hit the like button, gang. We're about to show you something, Band-Aid gang. Now, I wonder if you guys remember this. Hit my like button. I want to know if you guys remember this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Gene Hackman. Remember this, gang? Do you remember this? Or maybe you didn't. Well, let us remind you. Let us remind you. Hit my like button. Let us remind you.
The Oscar-winning American actor Gene Hackman, along with his wife Betsy, have been found dead in their home in New Mexico.
Gene Hackman found dead in where? Their New Mexico home? In their New Mexico home? Put a 1 in the chat, gang, if y'all hear me. In their New Mexico home? Hey, Damon, put a 1 in the chat if you hear me, gang. I'm glad some of my mods is coming in here. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Hit my like button. Thank you, gang. Hit my like button. We about to turn up. Y'all remember this? Why is everything in New Mexico, Damon? Damon, why is everything in New Mexico? Let's go.
The United States.
At 11 o'clock in the morning, federal agents cut through the locks of a $4 million estate in New Mexico.
In New Mexico, look at the house. Look at the terrain. I want y'all to pay attention to the terrain in this house. $4 million estate. Pay attention to the terrain. Watch how it is sitting on top of this mountain. Hey, Nurse 59, I see you. Pay attention to how this mansion is sitting on top of this mountain. Let's track. Now, this is an actor, you know. Played in a lot of movies. Him and his wife found... They up. Let's use that word for YouTube. Let's go, gang. Hit the like button.
They were looking for answers regarding the sighting of Gene and Betsy Hackman. Instead, they found an anomaly. Thermal cameras picked up a heat signature coming from under the...
Why didn't they use these heat signatures on Epstein Island? Why has it got the same mountain terrain as Epstein Island? Let's go.
Foundation, a massive void that shouldn't exist. When they finally cracked the seal, the air that rushed out was stale, smelling of rust and old paper. What was waiting in the dark wasn't just a room, it was a time capsule of impossible secrets.
Y'all know what it is, gang? The possible secrets? The enlightened ones, the Illuminati. See what has just happened with the Epstein files? We have exposed the Illuminati, people. You are seeing the Illuminati be exposed. Epstein and them and this government stuff is the Illuminati. They have been exposed, and we're gonna expose them some more. Let's go, gang.
Secrets buried deep in Santa Fe. This investigation started on February 20th.
Santa Fe is right up from Epstein's Island. Santa Fe is in New Mexico. It's north of Epstein Island, Epstein's ranch. South from Santa Fe. Now let's go ahead and continue to track.
The discovery of Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa at their residence.
Started on February 26th with the discovery of Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa and their dog at their residence.
11 o'clock in the morning, February 26, 2025, federal agents forced their way through the towering steel gates of a $4 million mansion hidden within the forests of Santa Fe, New Mexico. They expected a routine investigation into a tragic loss. What they found instead will send shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Right now, breaking news.
There he is right there. Y'all remember him? Hit my like button. Hit my like button. This is why we run YouTube. We gonna find bodies on Zorro Ranch. That's where it's popping at, and that's where we stand. Let's go.
Involves the passing of legendary actor Gene Hackman.
Breaking news, cause of death revealed. It is sad. Officials tonight say the actor's wife died a week before.
Let's break
Hackman.
the code, man.
His longtime love, Betsy Arakawa, died of hantavirus.
Sources have obtained the search warrant for his New Mexico home and to tell you exactly what authorities found. Because beneath the floors of legendary actor Gene Hackman's estate, halls of private library, was never.
Remember Epstein had all those books that they were showing in the Epstein file? Let's continue to track.
Supposed to be found. A tunnel, ancient, forgotten, and filled with secrets so disturbing that even the most hardened investigators process what they are seeing. And surrounds the end of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, whose bodies were found in their Santa Fe home. seen the couple for days, and authorities say they had been gone for some time.
A cloud of suspicion surrounds the deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, whose bodies were found in their Santa Fe home. No one had seen the couple for days, and authorities say they had been dead for some time.
Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy were found inside this mansion. The official story says natural causes.
This just went all over y'all head, right? Oh, they don't, Illuminati want to tell on each other now. They rolling over. Double tap my screen, hit the like button. Let's go.
But the discovery of this underground maze tells a very different story. What was buried beneath this estate? Who built it? And what does it have to do with the mysterious end of one of Hollywood's most celebrated couples? The answers might terrify you. It is the newly released body cam video showing cops arriving at the Santa Fe home. They learned from a handyman that the couple had passed. To understand what happened, you first need to understand where...
This ain't no AI channel. Double tap my screen. This facts, this real life. Right now, y'all getting all the information you need, and we got you.
Gene Hackman's estate wasn't just a home, it was a fortress. Nestled within dense, almost impenetrable forest, the property was designed for one purpose: absolute privacy. Towering stone walls, reinforced steel gates, motion sensors, thermal cameras, and round-the-clock surveillance systems that would rival government installations protected the grounds. The staff was handpicked, vetted, and bound by ironclad legal agreements that prevented them from ever speaking about what went on inside.
Let's get them lights up,
man. This wasn't the retreat of a man who wanted peace and quiet. This was the sanctuary of someone who had something to hide. Step past those gates and the sheer luxury is overwhelming. Hallways lined with original masterpieces from legendary painters. Furniture dating back centuries.
Did y'all hear what he said? We just talked about the paintings that Epstein had. Same scenario. The paintings, the money laundering, the top secret documents. Watch this, gang. Let's track.
Step past those gates and the sheer luxury is overwhelming. Hallways lined with original masterpieces from legendary painters. Furniture dating back centuries, once belonging to European royalty. Chandeliers rumored to have hung in the grand halls of ancient palaces. Gardens tended by experts filled with plants so rare they exist in only a handful of places on Earth. But beneath all that beauty, something else was waiting.
How did he get all of that? That's what I'm wondering. He wasn't in that many movies. In a Bloodline? Are we talking about Bloodline here? Are we talking about a Bloodline? Hit my like button. I think we talking Bloodline right here. This Bloodline, because I know he didn't make all that type of money to have all these antiques. I said, damn. See, look at the, look, that look just like Zorro Ranch, don't it? Sitting up on a mountain, don't it, Band-Aid? Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. They sabotaging. Put a one in my chat if you can hear me. Mods, put a one in the chat. Thank you, Nurse 59. They trying to sabotage me. They know I'm dropping nothing but facts over here. We see what we got to do on this channel. What we do on this channel, we really break this shit down. We breaking it down over here, man. We breaking it down. We not gonna play them games with these people. We stand right here. We stand right here on Zorro's Ranch. We already got all the other clues. They already putting it together. But what we at right now is we right on top of their ass like a scoreboard. We're gonna find the bodies here. Now they trying to move around right now, but they on their ass. Let's go. Hit the like button. Let's.
Tunnel itself, it was where it led. A major ruling from a judge will allow the public to see inside the home of Hollywood legend Gene Hackman and his wife after they were found. The moment agents entered the mansion, something felt wrong. It wasn't the silence. It wasn't the size of the rooms. It was the subtle details that didn't add up. Furniture that had been moved, scuff marks on the floor, and inconsistencies in Hackman's personal belongings suggested someone had been searching for something, or perhaps hiding something. But the real discovery came when agents examined the library. Behind a section of the wall, concealed so perfectly that it would have been invisible to anyone who didn't know where to look, they found it.
I said
a narrow passageway with stone steps spiraling downward in.
Right here, it's gonna get deep. It's gonna make you say, I said, damn, nigga, ooh, we on their ass, gang.
To absolute darkness. The air grew colder with each step. It was damp and heavy. The agents' flashlights cut through the black, revealing walls covered in strange symbols and markings.
Right there. Get your thinking caps on, gang. Are we talking about the ant people, the reptilians right here? All right, go ahead. Yeah, you shouldn't have turned it up. Put one in my chat. All right? I know it. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat, gang. If y'all can hear me. They trying to sabotage, bro. That's what they do. You know what? I'm going to just stick it calm and relax with gang because I know what they on. Thank you, gang. I already know what they on. They did this to me last night. They did this to me last night when I went live. Every time I go live and I get to on their ass, they start sabotaging my channel. But now I want to go back just a little bit to educate my people. Now look, listen what they, now this is what we need to wonder. You know what it say in the good book? And I never doubt the Most High. What it say in that good book? Same as above is below. Was they talking about the space? Or was they talking about the tunnels down here? Same as above is below. Are we above and the tunnels are below? Same as above is below. That's what it say in the book, right? Okay. So now we get to looking at these signs and symbols. Signs and symbols, Band-Aid gang, are for what? The conscious mind. If you conscious, then you gonna understand the signs and symbols. Some people not woke like that, but we woke on this channel. So let's continue to track and look at what we got going on. Double tap my screen, hit that like button.
The air grew colder with each step. It was damp and heavy. The agents' flashlights cut through the black, revealing walls covered in strange symbols and markings that didn't match any known language. Some resembled ancient chemistry signs. Others looked like
ancient chemistry signs. Now look at this, man. Look at this.
Technical drawings, blueprints for inventions that seemed to be way ahead of the time they were created. And then they reached the chamber. It was the vast underground warehouse frozen in time.
Look what this say right here.
Blueprints for inventions that seemed to be
is that BC? Is that supposed to be before Christ? Is this was they down here BC? Is this where they get BC at, before Christ? What's going on here, Band-Aid gang? And this is the stuff that the kind of symbolism that they saw on Roswell, that a lot of people say when the UFO crashed in Roswell, that they were seeing symbols like this. Same as above is below. Let's get this motherfucker up to 1 million views tonight, gang. Let's go.
Way ahead of the time they were created. And then they reached the chamber. It was a vast underground warehouse frozen in time. Stacks of ancient wooden crates lined the walls like a forgotten archive. Some had crumbled with age, their contents spilling out across the stone floor. Yellowed documents, rusted metallic objects,
now listen right
and
here.
antique
rusted metallic objects. Look at this. Look at this, gang.
Artifacts that defied explanation were everywhere. One agent carefully lifted the lid of a dust-covered box. Inside were photographs, fragile and yellowed. The faces staring back were unfamiliar, their clothing and hairstyles hinting at a time long past. Some photos captured secret meetings in dimly lit rooms. Others...
Illuminati. We tracking. We tracking. That was Illuminati meeting, gang. Yeah. This dude was Bloodline. That's why the tunnels, we have cracked the code. The Illuminati has been exposed. Let's go, gang.
Showed strange, unidentified locations. A few depicted individuals whose names had been lost to history. Each image seemed to hold a hidden story, a piece of a puzzle no one had ever assembled. Beside the photographs were leather-bound files filled with hastily scribbled notes, records of events that appeared to have been deliberately buried. Passages that suggested deception, secrecy, and possibly something far worse. But the most chilling find was still waiting in the shadows.
Hit the like button, let's go.
Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes free in the app if you didn't file.
Door that cannot be opened. Deep in the gloom, beyond the crates and the scattered papers, the agents found something that stopped them in their tracks.
I said, damn.
It was an old iron door. Its surface was covered in rust and grime, untouched for what looked like decades. There was no handle, only a heavy, corroded lock that seemed designed to keep something sealed away forever. The FBI has refused to comment on what they found beyond that door, but the rumors spreading through investigative circles paint a disturbing picture. Some believe the tunnel.
Remind you, this is in New Mexico. Remind you, this is in New Mexico. And we know who sold Zorro Ranch. Y'all know what his name was? Bruce King? Bruce King sold it to Zoro Ranch. Then you got Bill Richardson after that, who was caught, and they took his name off the Children's Hospital, right? Had to do with children again. And we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that. Let's hit the like button, let's go.
Is part of an extensive underground network, one that has remained undiscovered for generations. Others suspect it leads to a hidden bunker, possibly connected to Cold War era operations or even older, more secretive organizations.
See?
But here's where things get even stranger.
What
the
happened?
floor of the chamber wasn't just covered in dust.
What was covered
It was
with?
marked with circular patterns that, when viewed from above, resembled celestial star maps.
Bingo!
As if whoever created them was mapping the heavens or signaling something beyond this world. The tool.
I'm done. I said, damn. I don't even think y'all ready for this type of shit on this channel. Double tap my screen. I don't think y'all ready for this. No, I don't think y'all ready. I don't think you ready for this toughest shit right here. R30 say the truth in at them double doors, and you right. But these celestial beings, about these celestial beings, I said, damn. The celestial beings, see my people sending me gifts and shit, because they know I'm dropping gems over here.
Thank you for the gift.
Now look, gang.
Thank you guys.
Don't forget don't forget about the adrenochrome, and they feeding off fear. They feeding off fear.
It was marked with circular patterns that, when viewed from above, resembled celestial star maps. As
celestial beings. Celestial beings that need blood to survive. And Jeffrey Epstein, I truly believe, was trying to, for an alien being to survive, they were trying to operate so they can live on our climate. They want to not have to be in these body suits. They don't want to have to come giving Ebola. Every time it's a new disease that come out, it's one of these celestial beings that they had captured that had got away.
Yep.
See, because it always said in the book, there's nothing new under the sun. So when we get these new diseases and stuff like that, something has escaped. And that's when we had this COVID. That's when we had the Ebola. See, what we did, we exchanged, they gave us technology to be able to operate on these children so they can live on our climate. That's what's going on. That's what you seeing going on right now. Let's continue. I can't feed a baby steak. So let's continue to go. We got 30.
If whoever created them was mapping the heavens or signaling something beyond this world. The tools found in the crates were equally bizarre. Some had engravings that didn't match any known manufacturer. Others contained mechanisms so precise they would require built. Was Gene Hackman a collector of impossible artifacts? Did he inherit this underworld from someone?
I think he was a guardian of forbidden knowledge. Now, how does he go from looking like this, right, Band-Aid gang? How does he go from looking like this? And he old now. Now, this shouldn't been too much change, right, Band-Aid gang? Hit my like button. How he go from looking like this, Band-Aid gang, to all of a sudden, because he quite old now. He should have, went up. He should have went up in this type of shape and form, right, gang? But he changed shape. He changed form, right? So I believe he changed form. If it's too much information for you, get the fuck off my channel. We don't want you over here. We want woke people over here that know the game. Now look, that's right. Get your ass up out of here. Yeah, see, he shouldn't change. He went from this gang to this. Hit my like button.
Gene Hackman, a collector of impossible artifacts,
look,
a guardian of forbidden knowledge, or did he inherit this underground?
How he go from this to look how he go
from someone else, someone whose secrets he was meant to protect. Some had engravings that didn't match any known manufacturer. Others contained mechanisms so precise they would require technology far beyond what existed when the tunnel was supposedly built.
Now look.
Was Gene Hackman a collector of impossible art?
Man, this ain't the Dimension channel. Ain't got Dimension got to do with your mind, gang. It ain't got to do with your damn body structure. Stop playing with me. No disrespect, Mary. I'm just saying, gang. I'm on the road. Don't stop me now. Let me work. Let me cook. Let me cook. Don't come in. Don't come in with that. Let me cook. Let me cook. Now look, let me cook now. Hit that like button. Hit that notification. Let me cook. Now look, gang. He go from this to this. Hit my like button.
Artifacts, a guardian of forbidden knowledge, or did he inherit this underground world from someone else?
He got a cigarette and egg out there. What the hell going on? Hit my like button. Exactly. Look like two different people. Who is that, gang? Let's get in on him. That's him? Oh, they played us. They played us again. Oh, we gonna have to stop doing this. They gonna keep sabotaging my channel. That ain't the same man, gang. My Band-Aid gang already caught it. That man that went off with them celestial beings. He's still alive, gang. He's still alive, gang. He off the adrenochrome. Let me cook. That ain't the same mans in them. Who is that? That can't be, gang. That's this man right here. Hold on. This him? Stop playing with my channel, man. That's him? I said, damn. They played us there. He's still alive, gang. They done shot him in a UFO. Right there, he almost gone. I said, damn, we doing them all type of ways today. I told you I was going to make up for yesterday. Stop playing with my life. What you ain't finna do is make
Gene Hackman, a collector of impossible artifacts, a guardian.
Now pay attention to what these dope fiends think they impossible. Man, I'm tired. I'm tired, gang. Let me cook. What's impossible about... See, I listen to everything. I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I listen twice as much as I talk. And what we just heard, gang, is that the mans in them had just done told us impossible artifacts. How the fuck is impossible?
Technology far beyond what existed when the tunnel was supposedly built.
Far beyond what existed before the tunnels was built. Come on, Epstein. We know you alive. Were you with Epstein with this man and them? He with that man and them, gang. We on their ass. Let's go.
Was Gene Hackman a collector of impossible artifacts? A guardian of...
Bruh, somebody just please in the yard down there in the chat yard. Tell me how you get an impossible artifact. What the fuck is an impossible artifact, gang? Angel, do you know what an impossible artifact is?
Hell no.
What is, can somebody please look up on their phone what the fuck is a impossible artifact and drop the definition in the chat? I said, damn, because you're not finna do me all type of ways. You're not finna do the Band-Aid gang all type. What is an impossible artifact, gang? And this is the man right here. This is the man right here. Look at that. He can't do too much changing. Now look, gang.
Forbidden knowledge, or did he inherit this underground world?
That's him. That's him. They did us. That ain't him, gang. That ain't him, gang. That's not him. Let's continue.
From someone else, someone whose secrets he was meant to protect. Hackman was considered one of the greatest performers of his era. Admired by filmmakers and fellow actors, he was known for roles in The French Connection, Unforgiven, and Hoosiers. But maybe the role of the quiet recluse was the most important one he ever played. To understand the gravity of this, we have to look at the ground beneath Santa Fe itself. This area isn't just known for art and sunsets. It is a region with a deep history of military testing, secret laboratories, and government black sites. Los Alamos, the birthplace of the atomic bomb, is not far away. For decades...
Look at this. Pay attention to the signs and symbols. Watch this, gang. I'm about to do them all type of ways again. Watch this.
Secret laboratories and government black sites. Los Alamos, the birthplace.
What that look like? Infinite. We're looking at an infinite. And not only, when you woke like we woke over here, gang, that looked like what? The DNA symbol. That's DNA symbol. Twisting. So, see, you can't put them past this channel. Yeah, you're going to try to sabotage my channel, Susan. Susan, they trying to sabotage my channel. Because I'm dropping nothing but facts. Infinite, never ending, infinite number 8. And we're looking at DNA symbol. See, yeah, you can't put that past me. The Most High blessed me. Yeah, he blessed me so I can see. Susan, they trying to sabotage us. Let's go.
The place of the atomic bomb is not far away. For decades, locals have whispered about underground transport systems and bunkers built into the mesas, designed to shelter the elite in case the world fell apart. Could this tunnel be a spur, a forgotten entrance to a much larger system? The iron door had no markings, but the steel was military grade.
Whatever that door built for, a motherfucker, whatever in that motherfucker ain't supposed to come out. They done put us, don't let that nigga up out of there. Don't let him out. Whoever that motherfucker is up in there, don't let his ass out. I said that.
Spacing of the rivets matched construction styles used in high security facilities.
What you need a door like that for, gang? It's a demon up in that motherfucker, gang. Whoever in there, gang, I said, damn. Let's go.
From the 1950s. If this was just a root cellar, why build it like a bank vault? Neighbors saw too much. Just when you think the story can't get any darker, the testimony from the people living nearby changes everything. The neighbors always knew something was off about the Hackman estate.
The neighbors knew, but we didn't know. When all of this was going on, why this didn't make the news so we all could know what the fuck was going on, gang?
Because they wanted to hide it.
That's exactly why we didn't know all this shit was going on, gang. I said, damn, let's go.
Some remember cryptic conversations where Hackman spoke in riddles, hinting at unseen dangers and betrayals without ever quite explaining what he meant. Others recall shadowy figures moving in and out of the property in the dead of night. Brief visits, faces hidden, purposes unknown. There are stories of strange mechanical noises rumbling beneath the ground at odd hours. Sounds like something was being constructed or buried deep in the earth. It wasn't the sound of plumbing or heating. It was the sound of heavy industry, grinding and humming hundreds of feet down.
Pumping blood. Pumping that blood. That's what that was doing. It was pumping that blood to whatever entity that was there that was feeding off fear. They was feeding that entity. And that entity needed what? Blood. That entity needed blood. Hit my like button, gang. We on their ass.
And then there are the people who vanished. Former staff members who left the estate.
People that vanished. They feeding it. They feeding it. Man, I'm telling you, gang. Y'all remember that series, damn. I don't want to move too fast. Let's go, gang.
And were never seen again. Workers from decades past who disappeared during construction projects. Local historians who tried to dig into the property's past and simply stopped responding to calls. The connection between the underground tunnel and the tragic end of Gene and Betsy Hackman remains one of the most baffling aspects of this case. Official reports say natural causes, but the timing feels impossible to ignore. Were they silenced because they knew too much? Did someone use the tunnel to enter?
It was a series, X-Files, right? It was a series, Rock Pope, that was out called it was a train. It was called, damn. Ooh, I want to say it off the top of my head. It was called, they made it to a series, but the movie came out first. It was called Snowpiercer. Y'all remember Snowpiercer? The movie Snowpiercer. When those people, the earth had froze up. And they made a train that kept going. The train couldn't stop because they thought that it was way below zero. If you went out there, you would die. So it was people that was born on that train. And they had a man that they worshiped like a Donald Trump. It was called Snowpiercer. And they were on the train. He put, yep, on that train. Taking kids, exactly. And remember that the poor people lived in the back. That's what basically they was telling us what's going on this earth. When you look at the original Snowpiercer movie, then they made a series out of it. Snowpiercer, all the poor people were like us. We were in the back of the train. Some of us was born on that train because it never stopped, right? It never stopped because it was frozen outside. They had the people thinking that if you walk outside, you was going to freeze. So when someone had a baby, they took the baby and took it to the front of the train. They was wondering why they was taking the babies. So the people rebelled and they started fighting. And it was different levels of that train. Then they found out what they were eating. They were eating roaches. They was giving them these little damn blocks look like Jello, and they was eating it. They never knew what they was eating. But when they started fighting and working their way up the train, they were seeing people, the further up the train they went, the better people were living. It was crazy. So it made you think about life. We don't know what they really giving us in the food. So, but then when they got to the front of the train, they were taking the children to run the train. Little children were making that train run. See, that's like life. That's what's going on right now. See, that's why these people thought, I'm telling you, we don't know what they feeding us. And it was like the further and further they kept fighting it because they kept going through different levels. And they realizing, damn, they got clubs up in here. They got all type of shit. So I got Rock Poet know exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. They always show us on movies what's really going on. V, the movie V, the series V. So let's continue. Let's continue to track. I got another good one. I got a couple. We tracking. We know what's going on. We know what's going on this channel.
The mansion undetected? Or was there something inside that chamber so dangerous that even its guardians couldn't survive its secrets? The cause of passing for Mr. Gene Hackman, aged 95 years, is listed as heart issues with other...
He lived 95 years old. He lived to be 95. Let's continue.
Significant factors. But the paperwork doesn't account for the environment.
Okay.
It doesn't explain why a couple with access to the best healthcare in the world would isolate themselves so completely in their final days. The tunnel entrance in the library wasn't hidden by a simple rug. It was behind a mechanism that required a specific sequence to open. This means Gene likely accessed it recently. Why would a man in his 90s be going down into a cold, damp bunker? Unless he was afraid.
Who wants to be around some shit like that and you an old man with your wife? I wouldn't want to be in no shit like that. Where your kids at, gang? Where your kids? Why they ain't mention his kids? Where's goddamn kids at? Where's nieces and nephews, aunties, sisters, and cousins and them? You know what we got to do? See, what they done did is, now we got to find out who owned that property. See, now we tracking. We need to find out, since he gone up, now he went up to the upper room. Now he up in the upper room, who owned that property? It's in Santa Fe. He done went to the upper room. So if he in the upper room, who owned that property that got all that type of shit done there? That connect. Who owned that? Did Epstein own that too? Did Tom Ford own that too? Hey, we got to get this 33 up out of here. So there you go. I'm glad y'all hit 34. Shit, we had a 33 up in here. We need 30. Let's get this motherfucking likes up. I'm finna show y'all something else going on in New Mexico. Let's go.
Unless he was checking on something, or perhaps hiding from something that he knew was coming for him.
What's up, Great?
Truth beneath our feet. As forensic teams comb through the dust and debris, the silence from the authorities is deafening. The investigation is ongoing. FBI forensic teams continue to analyze every artifact, every document, every symbol carved into those ancient...
But why they not telling us, though? Why they not telling us, though? Gang, why they not telling us? Why they didn't tell us when all of this went on? Why they not telling us? Let's go, gang.
Walls. Advanced techniques are being used to detect invisible residues, trace DNA, and decode the strange messages left behind. If these clues lead to specific names, the entire case could take a shocking turn. But authorities remain frustratingly silent. Their statements are vague, carefully worded, almost as if they are deliberately keeping something under wraps, and that silence only fuels the guessing game. Some believe these tunnels are remnants of a forgotten military project. Others think they are connected to secret societies that have operated in the shadows for...
What did we tell you? Secret societies that operated in the shadows. Exactly. We running it up. Let's go, gang. We got facts over here.
Centuries. A few suggest something even more unsettling, that what lies beneath the Hackman estate isn't entirely of this world. Every day, new theories emerge, new questions arise, and the mystery only deepens. Deputies in Santa Fe, New Mexico have said from the very beginning there were no signs of foul play in the passing of acting legend.
You guys are down with it too. You down with it too. You're not fooling us. Watch this, gang. It's finna get scarier. Watch this.
Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog. But they also said that the scene was unusual and suspicious, and that has raised so many questions. Gene Hackman spent his life portraying characters caught in webs of conspiracy, deception, and hidden truths. From the French Connection to Enemy of the State, he embodied the struggle against forces operating just beyond the edge of what we can see. Perhaps that was never just acting. Perhaps he understood something the rest of us are only now beginning to see. Because beneath the mansions of the powerful, beneath the forests and the mountains and the cities we call home, there may be entire worlds we have never discovered. Networks of tunnels, chambers of secrets, doors that were never meant to be opened. The question isn't whether those secrets exist. The question is, are we ready to know what is hiding in the darkness? What do you think lies beneath the Hackman estate? Was he a guardian of lost history, or was he trapped by it? Share your theories in the comments below, and if you want to...
Put your theories. What do you guys think is beneath that home? It's in Santa Fe. There's been tunnels. So we're going to track again. This is very important. I want everybody to see this. Hit my like button. So this happened. Let me give you another good information before we go into this next clip. One of my mods put Yolanda's the Greats channel in my chat, please.
You want me to date your dog?
Y'all make sure y'all put the Great Spills the Teas link in the chat. We got 35 in here. Excuse me, we got 46 in here. 35 likes. Let's get this likes up. I need her link in the chat. Everybody, y'all tap in with my sister. She over there doing numbers. She covers this. Watch this, gang. Now let's do this. We're finna do them all type of ways. Now this is what's happening. This is what happened. Look at Pam Bondi face. See that's what you get now. You taped up. Yeah. Did I mention that? Oh, I must have left that part out. So let's go, Band-Aid gang. Thank you. Y'all subscribe to that link in the chat. That's my sister's link. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Her channel is doing numbers. She's awesome when it comes to anything celebrity gossip. What's going on with these Epstein files? She's on point. That's my business partner and my whole gang. We running YouTube right now. Let's do what we do best. Thank you everybody for coming in. Now watch this though. Watch this. And we always say pay attention to your surroundings. So we watched the first video on the Epstein. We watched what happened with Gene, right? Now watch this though. Let's go. Band-Aid gang.
Step News.
A neighborhood in fear. Random people wandering through a previously quiet neighborhood that saw an increase in crimes.
Tonight in a Target 7 investigation, Jason McNabb shows how a single house could be responsible for all of it. And
now remind you, off of Interstate 40, I-40, outside of Albuquerque, is where Zorro Ranch, Epstein Zorro Ranch. I might put a 1 in the chat, YG, if you can hear me. Mods, put a 1 in the chat. They trying to sabotage my live. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, now check this out. I'm giving everybody some science. Now look, outside, man, make sure y'all hit that notification bell. That's what we need you to do. Hit that notification bell so you can know, because I got more shit up my sleeve. I'm telling you. Now look, outside of Albuquerque is where Epstein's Zorro Ranch is. Now this happens in Albuquerque, gang. This happens in Albuquerque. Pay attention again. Now we watch the tunnels. Remember, keep this in your mind. Same as above is below.
7 News.
A neighborhood in fear. Random people wandering through a previously quiet neighborhood that saw an increase in crimes.
Tonight in a Target 7 investigation, Jason McNabb shows how a single house could be responsible for all of it, and the shocking discovery the city found in a backyard.
Uh-oh.
So we moved here originally because we loved it. We thought the location was great.
Alondra and Joshua Escabel say not much happened in this neighborhood near Cibola High School, and the police agree.
It was a very quiet neighborhood.
That is until new renters moved in to this house.
Cops consistently in the neighbor's house.
Over the past year, the Escabels say they began to see strange people wandering in the neighborhood.
You could see them coming in with bags, thuggish and homeless people.
They even captured this video of one of them urinating by their home.
There was 10 to 12 people a day just circulating, coming and going and coming and going.
Then the crime started.
I was in the process of moving, put my kiddos' clothing and her dresser items into my luggage, loaded it into the back of my car, walked inside to go get more items, came back out, the luggage was gone.
The theft of her suitcase caught on this Ring camera video. Target 7 was there, talking to Kimberly, shortly after police caught the person who allegedly took it. There were other crimes too.
And they opened up all the mailboxes and they actually took out all the mail of everybody here.
Records show police were called to the area of the house 49 times in the past year. But it was
49 times in the past year. Why were they taking the people's in the neighborhood's mail? Anybody tracking? After we watch this, let's figure out: is it for ransom? Is it for okay? It could be this person that gives this up. We need to track all these people. We need to get. We need to make sure that they never exist in case we got to take them. Let's continue.
Code enforcement that made a shocking discovery. They uncovered this tunnel system built on the property, and it led to an underground bunker.
Have you ever seen anything like this before here in Albuquerque?
Nothing like that, not in my career.
Chris Patterson is APD's Northwest Area Commander. He says the bunker caught their attention, and recently they stepped up patrols.
It was a large dug-in tunnel network. It had support structures, there was concrete, there were bricks inside. It was pretty large, that was built into the backyard of the house that led into the adjoining arroyo.
He believes criminals were using the bunker to hide out.
There's definitely some auto thefts that we've been able to track back to it, some property crimes, packages being stolen from porches, luggage items taken from people's cars, so some auto break-ins, and then obviously we think there's probably also a drug nexus as well.
But the tenants were allowed to stay.
So we had assumed that they were going to be getting evicted.
The owner of the home started the process to evict the tenants. He's also had the bunker filled in. But neighbors want to know, why didn't the city do something sooner? They said the problem started a year ago.
We may be the ones that are charging the crimes, but we're not part of that process to evict people out or condemn the houses.
The city has a nuisance abatement ordinance that's used to deal specifically with properties like this. If criminal activity happens 3 times within a 3-month span, they can condemn the property. So why wasn't it used?
We had no idea that there were existing calls for service at that point in time.
Jeremy Kaiser oversees code enforcement. He says the use of the ordinance wasn't even on their radar.
Those calls were not dealing with the subterranean excavation that was being conducted on the property.
Knowing what we know now, Jeremy, do you think that the nuisance abatement ordinance would have eventually come into play with this particular property?
If the property owner did not take care of the tunnel system, because that is something that creates a massive safety issue, yes, the nuisance ordinance would have taken place.
But neighbors are still on edge.
This community is super scared. And just the fact that they're still there.
The tenants have until the end of March to leave. For Target 7,
maybe they're renting out the bunker? I have no idea.
I'm Jason McNabb.
Years ago, before it was disbanded, the Safe City Strike Force was primarily responsible for enforcing the nuisance abatement ordinance.
Okay. Peggy, you know what's going on. Yeah, you know what's going on. I knew your nose looked funny. You got that funny ass nose. That nose ain't a regular nose. How with that goddamn nose you got? I know that goddamn nose you got. That nose you got ain't real. Yeah, you know we know you ain't no human being. You know we know that you ain't no human being. We about to do you all type of ways. So now we finna track. Now, this is the governor, right? Pam, you know, Pam, you know we about to do you all type of way. Now, this man, Bill Richardson, was in the Epstein files. Now, this is one of the guys that was covering up in New Mexico. Let's track before we get to the good stuff.
Protect your dream home. Under our roof.
Hit my like
American
button.
Family Insurance.
Stop playing with my channel. We got 38. Let's get 100 likes up in here tonight.
Severe ulcerative colitis
Let's run it up tonight.
The only gut focus.
Let's run it up. Make sure everybody double tap the screen, and on the right hand side is 3 buttons over there.
This is bigger than Watergate. This goes over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion.
Get over here.
Good evening, New Mexico. Every day, more unravels from the release of the latest Jeffrey Epstein files. And with each revelation comes more questions involving New Mexico.
More specifically, former Governor Bill Richardson. Just this week, we shared that Richardson's name was brought up multiple times in those files, emails detailing his long friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. And tonight, we're looking at whether that connection will bring consequences here. For example, we've confirmed that a building at UNM Hospital is no longer named after former Governor Richardson and his wife Barbara. Here's video of that building back in 2013.
Now, here is what it looks like today. UNM official.
Why got to be about children, Band-Aid gang? They want that adrenochrome. Children again, gang. Let's go.
Tell us that decision came last year when the hospital opened the new critical care tower. Communications director Chris Ramirez says it was to simplify the building names and help patients find their way around. We asked if Richardson's relationship with Epstein was at all considered in dropping his name from the building, and Ramirez said he did not have an answer to that question and could not.
Put a 1 in the chat if we gon' dib and dab. But put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to stay on Zorro's Ranch. If you guys want to snoop around here and you think that at the end of this, when this shit get exposed, that we stay right here. Chris King says Zorro needs to be investigated and any evidence sealed. The fact is still hasn't been scrutinized on that word. After Jeffrey Epstein was incarceration. Clearly, most of D.C. is compromised. Now look at this, gang. Thank you. Always remember that D.C. doesn't mean District of Columbia. It doesn't mean District of Columbia. What the fuck does Columbia got to do with anything, Band-Aid gang? Put a 1 in the chat if you hear me. We ain't got to live like this. Put a 1 in the chat. Hey, what up, Jane Doe? Now listen to me. Damn it. Now you listen to me. We ain't got to live like this. Right here, Chris King said, clearly most of D.C. is compromised. Now look, I don't know nothing about no Columbia. What the fuck does District of Columbia? What the fuck is Columbia? It don't mean that. It means divide and conquer. Divide us from them and conquer them. Washington, D.C. stands for Washington divides and it conquers. Divide and conquer. There ain't no District of Columbia. I don't know nobody from goddamn where they get Columbia from any goddamn way. You should have just named it Columbia. Dope fiend. Well, I think we could just slide this past them because they don't know. And we got the tunnels down there and We got the kids, they always coming up miss. You know, we're going to take the kids and scare them to death. And soon as we scare them and go boo, well, we need the kid to be scared to suck the damn blood out of them for the adrenochrome and use it on them. I said, damn. They stupid. They don't know nothing. They dividing and they conquering. I don't need that many people to like me. I don't give a damn about what you like, nigga. I didn't come here for you to like me, to call me, oh, he don't know what he talking about. Everything that I said has came to manifest, and we rockin' show. Let's go.
Tell us when exactly the Richardson name was officially removed.
Meanwhile, plenty of insults were dropped today on Capitol Hill. Members of the House Judiciary Committee, Democrats and Republicans, grilled Attorney General Pam Bondi over the handling of the Epstein files.
It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the
answers.
Meanwhile, some of our state lawmakers in Santa Fe are trying to take matters into their own hands.
What they say, yeah, gang? Santa Fe. Gene, right? We just looked at Gene Hackman. Santa Fe. We back at Santa Fe again. Square one again. They tried to dope fiend us. They tried to treat us like a sucker duck. This ain't the sucker duck channel. I'm going to just go ahead and let them think this, and we'll just bring this out when we want to. When the feds drop it, we going to put this out while we get the rest and then try to clean it up and reduct everything. And while they cover that, we're going to try to clean up what we can. I'll stop fucking with us. Let's go.
I recently spoke with State Representative Andrea Romero, who is pushing to create the Truth Commission to look into what really happened at Epstein.
I do have multiple personalities. Rob, I do have multiple personalities. I have to. I have to play stupid. I have to play dumb. I have to play smart. I have to play, they've been playing me like that, so why can't I play them like that? I can't play crazy. I can't play crazy. I can't play crazy. They've been playing us like we stupid, so I play crazy. That's why I'm giving you this information, because I'm not. Damon, you a fool. Let's go.
Former Zorro Ranch in Santa Fe County.
We know that Jeffrey Epstein had friends in very...
Wait a minute, gang. Wait a minute, gang. I ain't see. Now, that's part I did not know. So, G. Hackman, right? His ranch was in Santa Fe, right? Y'all tracking that? It was in Santa Fe, which is north of Zorro Ranch. So, now we're just finding out Zorro Ranch is in Santa Fe County. Uh-oh. Zorro Ranch, I repeat, is in Santa Fe County. I'm just finding that out. That's the county. Santa Fe, Hackman was it. Okay. Then the mountain, how it look. Okay, we're going to track. Let's go.
very high political places in New Mexico. This is about justice. This is about the pursuit of the ability for survivors to have their place of justice in our state and to ensure it never happens again.
That effort will be debated on the State House floor this Friday. If it passes, the Truth Commission would have power to subpoena people and have them testify about the events at Zorro Ranch.
In fact, other state leaders are asking our New Mexico Attorney General to get involved because of an anonymous email. Local radio host Eddie Aragon says he received that email, which claims 2 girls were killed and buried at Zorro Ranch.
Bingo. Hit my like button. Bro, stop playing with me. 2 girls. Okay, it was 2 girls buried at Zorro Ranch, Band-Aid gang. And ain't nobody went to go dig up nothing. 2 girls. Man, it's more than 2 girls that was unalived at Zorro Ranch. It was more than 2 girls buried on Zorro's Ranch. Hit my like button. See, we gonna get woke today. We gonna get you today.
On orders from Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. The email claims there is video evidence and asks for payment in Bitcoin.
State Land Commissioner Stephanie Garcia.
You're absolutely right, Jane Doe. The first man name was Bruce King. it's not really much about Bruce King. Only thing that's crazy about Bruce King is that his son had a big ass neck brace on, right? I'm like, why he got that big ass neck brace on? It didn't show no really that much. He had a son. He wanted to be private on this ranch. That's who owned the ranch first. He was the governor. It's not much intel about Bruce King is his name. Kind of suspicious when you looked at his teeth. I don't understand when a motherfucker got all that money, they don't get their teeth fixed. But you know, that's just somehow people is. But his teeth looked funny. His son looked like him. The people, it was no scandals or scams on that man. It wasn't really much intel about him. But we know there's tunnels under there, so I'm still suspicious. But he was a man that dressed regular, wore cowboy hat, and that did seem kind of funny about him. They kept saying that he never wanted people to come around really on the ranch or whatever the case may be. So I was digging in on that. There is some more to dig in. We're going to stay right here on the ranch on this channel, so make sure y'all sub up. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm going to stay on this ranch. I'm going to find out because I'm pretty sure. And I hope. I'm going to just say I hope. I'm not going to say I'm pretty sure. Because with this this is the biggest scandal in the world. So basically, this is who was running our country, not the president. So Epstein, to me, Epstein was running the country. Epstein and these people with these tunnels, those were the real presidents. You see what I'm saying? The Illuminati. You need a puppet. And you know what? You know what? We know they all related. They do an oath. But I'm really feeling like with something as big as this, we know over here. I don't know if they're going to go really pursue this. We got all the keys because this is going to expose everything. It's going to expose everything. Now, if you ask me about this space program that, now watch me track. If you ask me about the space program that Elon Musk had, you know what I'm thinking, gang? Like, again, I'm going to show you something towards the end of this video. Make sure y'all stay. I'm going to open your mind again. I'm going to open your mind again and make you say, wow. Because I think the children also that come up missing are being sent to other celestial beings. And I also think they're tested on a space center. I think they're taking a lot of these children in space. I think they're doing tests to see a lot. Okay, so we're going to get into that. Okay, but let's track this and end this, and I'm going to show you something
Richard
else.
has asked our State Department of Justice to investigate the allegations since Epstein leased state land surrounding the ranch. Officials with our AG's office say they are trying to verify the claims in the email.
Now look, do them all type of ways, C-Dub. Watch me cook. I'm going to type this up real quick. Watch this. I'm going to come back to the video, but I'm going to put y'all on some gems real quick. Watch this. Watch this. I'm typing it in. Hold on. Watch this. Okay. Now watch this. Watch this. I'm going to give y'all another thing. Now pay attention right here, gang. Look at this. I'm finna do you all type of ways. I'm going to get in trouble. They going to try to sabotage my channel. Now look at this. Look at this. Let's do them all type of ways. I'm going to do you all type of ways today. We first started going into space. Remember, gang? And when back then, I'm going to put the old. Now, look. Now, see this right here? This space shuttle got wings on it. You never see this space shuttle no more. And it used to land where, gang? On a runway. So how the hell we go from first when we were shooting in space, when they came back to Earth, they landed in the water. Remember that Band-Aid gang? They landed in the water. And then they brought boats to come pick them up, right? Then they came up with this nigga right here. So you have never seen this nigga right here with wings, right? Ever again. You know where it's at? It's in Huntsville, Alabama, the replica. On Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville. So how we go from this thing right here, right, Apparently it was flying around, right? This motherfucker was flying because it got wings. And then think about it. It came down by itself, right? And it landed on a runway. Right? Track with me. Track with me. Now track with me. It landed on a runway. Then they came up with this new space shuttle, right? Because they don't use this no more, right? They don't use that nigga no more, right? So they got another one now. But the other one that they got, right, gang? It landed, it just came on last year. Remember last year they was like, it's fake. It landed in the water again. Remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that. They said it was all fake and it was staged, but they landed in the water again. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that. Not too long ago, they picked up the people that went up in the space shuttle. It was that man and that woman. They was up there stuck. Remember that for a while, gang? And then all of a sudden they came back down. Y'all remember that? Put a 1 in the chat. And everybody was like, that's staged. It looked fake. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that. Okay, y'all remember that, right? So answer me this. Yeah, answer me this. Okay, everybody remember that. Answer the Band-Aid gang this question in. How the fuck? Why would you go in reverse? Why the fuck do they want to? How the hell you go back to the first landing in the water when you had this that was landing on the runway? Answer me that. Answer me that, dope fiends. Gang, gang. Answer me that. Why, when you had a space shuttle that could land on a runway and they didn't have to go land in the water, that they went right back in reverse to land in the water again? When the last time you seen a space shuttle take off? When they showed, how the fuck you go from in reverse? This nigga right here used to land on a runway. This nigga came down by itself. Or did it? Or did it? This dude came down by itself. But the last one that they had, they landed back in the water again. But we ain't never seen another space shuttle take off in a long time. But Elon Musk got some space shit going on? Or are they testing the kids? Are they shooting them kids up on a... Are them kids on a space center somewhere? Is that part of it too? See, you can't put nothing past my channel. I don't trust none of you motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm always clutching when I come around y'all. When I come around y'all, I'm clutching. I'm holding on to something tight. Now, we gonna do you all type of ways. Now, you gonna have to report your motherfucking ass to my principal's office. Yeah, I'm finna kick you in your motherfucking ass right now today. Band-Aid gang, we finna kick them in their ass.
This is the 1,400 hours a year you waste on your phone.
Like button.
With Purdue Global, you can turn that time into a degree. An extra 1,400
Hit
hours
like
isn't
button.
just time regained. It's the chance to earn a...
Let's go, gang. More information. Take this with you to the bank. Take this to the bank.
How are you? Come on in. How are you? Good. You have the documents?
Yeah, I have it. I have a friend over there. I just want to see that you have everything so we can.
Absolutely. You have a friend right out here?
Yeah, no, he's in the car.
Okay, I just want to call up to you though.
No. He's not going to come in.
Okay. All right, let me grab it. I'll show you.
What you just saw there is a bombshell video of an FBI sting operation released by the DOJ featuring...
I don't think they broke through the firmament yet. And I could teach people about that too. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about that later. Watch.
Epstein's old butler, Alfredo Rodriguez.
This Epstein's old butler. Keep tracking. Let's go.
This video, it looks like Rodriguez believes he is selling a personal notebook of Epstein's to someone representing a lawyer of Epstein's victims. Now, Rodriguez claims the contents of this book is full of the names and contact information of wealthy businessmen with whom Jeffrey Epstein was associated. Take a look at some of the shocking clips we have from this video and notice when Rodriguez mentions Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly being in possession of a database including naked underage girls.
Here is all the. Let me just highlight this for you. Everyone is interested in this massage Florida. All the phone numbers of the girls. And when I had the subpoena, we had my invite and they went to the garbage. You will see a lot of important people here, but let me just show you the
redacted
personal secretary of Epstein. Her address in New York, emails, all of this they asked me, I don't remember. They used to have a computer so powerful, they used to have a water radiator to cool it.
He said he had a computer so powerful. A computer. Now, we saw a computer so powerful, he said. Now, look, their address is in New York. Okay.
Address in New York.
He goes on to say
emails. They asked me,
redact.
I don't remember. He used to have a computer so powerful.
He said he used to have a computer so powerful. Let's continue.
He used to have a water radiator to cool it.
They had to have a water to cool it.
Pictures like that so fast. She had nice breasts.
Girls, she have nice breasts. She have nice that. Look.
You saw all this stuff? Yeah.
He said I saw
pictures of the girls.
He saw it on the computer. He saw the girls' breasts, all this and that. Let's go.
But I did stuff like that? Yeah, I testified that. You testified? Yeah, I did. Yeah, okay. Then Brad knows about it. But I couldn't prove that. That's why they need the guy that fixed the Citrix systems. He lives in Ohio. I'm going to him. Okay?
We're going back to Ohio. Now let's track that Ohio. I'm on top of the game like a scoreboard. Remember, Ohio had some UFO sightings. Over there off of the 90, it was maybe that's when they had that a little bit after they had that big winter storm, because me and Angel was driving up there. They had spotted some UFOs in Ohio. So don't forget, Dayton, Ohio is where when the celestial beings had crashed in Roswell. They took them where? To Dayton, Ohio. That's where they went to do the scientific test. Right there off of the Interstate 80. How do I know, Dub? Because I'm a truck driver. So we know there's an air base there. Always remember there was a lot of abducted, melanated children in Ohio. Ohio has some of the biggest ratings of children being abducted in Ohio. Let's continue to track. Are you in Cincinnati? You in Natty? Natty is a very beautiful city. Cincinnati is probably it's hard to say. Cincinnati probably is the prettiest city at night. And I travel all around. Cincinnati is the prettiest city at night. That is a beautiful city when it lights up at night over the water. Cincinnati is very beautiful. Dallas is beautiful at night too, but Cincinnati is going to be hard to beat. Kansas City is pretty at night. Chicago's very pretty, but when it comes to unique, I'm definitely feeling Cincinnati. Let's rock and roll.
Rodriguez was subsequently arrested for failing to turn over the book to authorities and eventually pleaded guilty to obstruction charges, and Rodriguez later passed away in 2016. And as time goes on, the internet continues to uncover more shocking files released by the DOJ, such as one referencing cloning babies, but I will get into that later. What I want to talk...
Did y'all hear what it said? Now we get into the title. Cloning babies. We almost to 50 likes. Double tap the screen. On your right hand side, there's 3 buttons. You guys tap on your screen. Since I'm 3, let's get it up. The likes really keep us in the algorithms. We need to trick the algorithms. Keep us in the algorithms, gang. Thank you. We got 32 watching, man. Let's go.
About now is a statement on the Pam Bondi hearing that was posted on the family's social media account for Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted of sex trafficking in connection with Epstein and is currently serving 20 years in prison. It reads, America's Attorney General told a House Judiciary Committee meeting today she hopes Ghislaine Maxwell dies in prison. That is an extraordinary thing for a nation's chief law officer to wish.
Pam knows what's going on. We need to dig in. Anybody knows any information, email me, but because I'm always tracking. I think Pam probably was one of them either she one of them reptilians or the Pleiadians. She could be a Pleiadian. I think that y'all got to do your research on Billy Myers and all of that type of shit. Phil Snyder and all of that. We're going to go to Phil Snyder here in a minute too. Towards the end, I'm going to give y'all all the gems you need to know. I believe that she could have been a child that was groomed as well. See, a lot of these women, they were grooming. Hey, this is going to be a pretty long live because I got to get all this out, gang. Let's continue.
Sounds less like justice than bloodlust. Ghislaine is serving a 20-year sentence, not a life term.
Thank
to
you
hope
for the
it
like.
proves fatal blurs the line between punishment and revenge. So it appears to be responding to a moment where Congress...
Okay, release the Ashley Biden diary. Hey, I have no problem looking into that. I'm gonna screenshot that. I need to look at the doc. I have no problem, cause you know I'd love to get in the motherfucking business. I'm more like we gonna hit 50. We running it up. Let's get to 60 next. Let's go.
Ross pressed Bondi on Maxwell's transfer from Tallahassee to the minimum security facility in Texas. Now, this was a move that Maxwell was apparently ineligible for, and Bondi claimed she learned about the transfer after the fact and wasn't involved. When asked who authorized it, Bondi deflected with this.
Who sent her there since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same facility, I don't know why.
Exactly, Craftman.
You know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, I have talking about Irina Zarutska.
Now, track what she said. We got 52 likes.
What kind of woman is she to say that in the courtroom?
Because you know why?
You
want to know why though, Angel? Why she said that? The reason why she said that, because she really hopes so. So now it's probably good, right, gang? Now, if she gets transferred back to a max, then that means they're getting ready to unalive her.
So she don't care about nobody.
Right. See, they put her in they made her comfortable, hoping that she'll bite the, okay, I'm cool here. But now, when she just asked, I'm finna say Bill, Trump for his pardon, when she asked him for that shit, if he don't bite, they gonna send her back, and then she gonna come up unalive. Don't be surprised if she come up unalive in her cell. Put a 1 in the chat if you think they gonna send her to the upper room. Because
ain't gonna have no remorse for her.
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that Maxwell going to the upper room.
I do. Look at all the evil she done did. Look at what she put them girls through.
Andrew say, I thought it was weird. I thought it was wild for a government official to say that. That's because, okay, we got a 1 in the chat. They think she going to the upper room. Exactly, because
she put them survivors through.
Right.
Women.
But here's the thing.
Deserve that
right.
All.
Here's the thing, Band-Aid gang. I'm going to tell you this. Now, this is another thing that y'all need to see. Everybody got to realize, Band-Aid gang, when this shit hit, gang, thank you. Everybody thinking she gonna go to the upper room. Now, when we looked at the way Epstein, if anybody go look at the way they showed how Epstein's neck was broken, ain't no way his bone broke like that, gang. They showed his neck. Ain't no way his neck broke like that, gang. Everybody loving my shit. Hit my shit, gang. Let's run it up. Now, here's the thing what that we gonna find out. She gonna either go to the upper room, because she done fucked up a little bit, because if Trump pardons her, that speaks a lot. It doesn't matter if he pardons her, because you know why? Once they start redacting all those names and shit like that, all those high elites and shit like that, don't think they ain't got phone calls of Donald Trump. It's not only Epstein that got conversations. It's other people that got conversations, and those may get leaked. See, we all thinking it's gonna come from the Epstein files. But that shit might come from a whole different angle. Somebody might be afraid they gonna get exposed and their drawers gonna get knocked off, and they gonna have some conversations with Donald Trump, and that shit gonna get leaked. See, that's why he's scared. See, y'all thinking it's all might come from the Epstein files. It might come from somebody else that's got, like the man, think about the man that just said he loved torture. He loved the torture video. Don't think he ain't got no private conversations, or these other dudes that already got their drawers knocked off. They got other conversations that's not in the Epstein files, right? If some of them had conversations with Trump that Epstein wasn't even involved in, right, gang? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel where I'm coming from. That shit might hit from a whole nother angle. Put a 1 in the chat if you see where I'm coming from. Exactly. Somebody else gonna have it. Epstein can keep track of everything. Somebody else got it. And guess what? Don't be surprised with these high-powered officials. Trump's life may be in danger. Trump's life may be in danger, bro. You see what I'm saying? They might have to do Trump. They did, goddamn it, Osama bin Laden and make a double. They might have to Osama bin Laden, that nigga. And he gonna live in the tunnel with that big. Let me slow down. Let's continue the track.
Post on Maxwell social media ends with this. The Justice Department is already under scrutiny for its handling of the Epstein files. It now faces...
Wait a minute. Diamond Gang. Who just resigned due to the emails about torture? Who resigned? So you talking about the Arab dude? Another JFK. And let me tell you another thing, gang. Let me do all type of ways again. I said this again. I'ma say it again. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Look, gang. Who Trump? Oh, the Arab dude. Oh, he resigned. Okay, let's think about it. He resigned about the torture video. Let's just think. He resigns. He got money. He resigns. What could be his next spin? We're gonna marinate on that. We're gonna figure it out. Now look at this though. Don't be surprised, gang, if what happened to JFK. See, y'all don't feel me. Y'all make you feel me tonight. What happened to JFK? What happened to Martin Luther King? What happened to bin Laden? What happened to Saddam Hussein? Not Rodney. To Saddam Hussein. All these things that could have happened to these people. It's probably in the Epstein files too. Did y'all get about that, gang? Kirk, exactly. Kirk. Thank you guys for that. See, that might be in the Epstein files too. That they might be having a conversation like, yeah, you know, when blah 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 killed unalived President Kennedy. That the real people that unalived and all of that is in them Epstein files too. See, that's another thing. Let's get it.
Question. If the guardian of the talked like a shock jock, what faith should the public have in the system she runs? The whole situation reveals a troubling paradox. It appears Ghislaine Maxwell's family is criticizing the very justice system that made Ghislaine's transfer possible. Whether the criticism stems from fear of a life sentence calculated strategy, one thing is clear: the handling of this case continues to raise questions about equal justice under the law.
Nick today was on the Hill, and he said that he had visited Epstein's Island in 2012 with his wife and children, and that's after he said that he had cut ties with Epstein. And Justice Department documents show that he was in contact with Epstein through 2018 over messages. So does the White House stand behind Secretary Lutnick right now, or given what he has said today, has there been any shift in how the White House is viewing Secretary Lutnick?
At Cox, your internet and mobile price won't change for
Secretary Howard Lutnick came after Lutnick admitted under oath that he visited Jeffrey Epstein's island in 2012 with his wife and children.
And we had lunch on.
But Lutnick, now listen to this now. Watch this. Bruh went to we talked about this yesterday. Lutnick went to the island, right? After all that bullshit he said was sick. He said he went for an hour. Now, nigga, he ain't finna get on no goddamn boat and go across the water to no Epstein Island for no motherfucking hour. Guess who he went with? He went with his wife, the woman that said that she wasn't going, the nanny. If you going to an island for an hour, what the nanny for? Hit my like button.
And where them kids at?
Hit my like button, double tap my screen.
Then he said he was taking him and his wife and his kids and the nanny.
Right.
Where the kids at?
My sister Yolanda said, my sister, the great spilled the tea, you know, you right, babe?
Yeah.
She said it. God damn it. Why she said, well, some rich people do that, Dove. You know, she know I'm a conspiracy theory. She know I was like, well, you know, me and YG, we that's why we hit them with good content. Rich people do have nannies. You know what I'm saying? That's what Grace said. She very accurate about what she bring out. I don't give a fuck what I bring out, you know, because that's what I feel. But I gotta listen to my sister. Now, what you say, Angel? It was something you said.
No, the same thing you said about what Sis said.
What?
About the man and his wife and kids and the nanny and stuff.
Yeah, so you believe that rich people take their nanny?
No.
Not for an hour. Not for an hour though. Right? You don't. Oh goddamn!
Unless you trying to do something serious,
like some secret shit, right?
Yeah.
Why they take nanny Band-Aid? What up, Cake? Why did they take the nanny to go over there for an hour? Right. Hold, watch them real quick while we go in here and have this goddamn jump off. Yeah. They had a nanny. So did they have a nanny watch the kids while they went and did the jump off game?
They did the freak off.
They went and did a freak off. I said, damn.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Lamont, gang, look. They went over there for an hour. Now remember, gang, y'all gonna love me for this one. He said he went over there, him, his wife, the nanny. And now remember, the nanny, they only going for an hour, but they brought a nanny. I said, damn. And then here go the other part. He said it was another couple and they kids. But when he said they left, he ain't say nothing about the other couple and they kids. What happened to the other couple? Did they stay over there, or was they bringing some more kids over there? Trafficking. Hit my like button. We ain't got to live like this. I'm on your ass.
The island. That is true.
I'm on your ass.
And we left with all of my children.
Yeah.
With my nannies and my wife all together.
Now, this
all together. He left with his nanny and his wife all together. Well, what happened to the other couple that we know? Because you said it was another couple and they kids. So just you?
That is true. For an hour. And we left with all of my children, with my nannies.
All your children, you left with all the children, but you dropped off 2 children and the nanny. So the nanny and the other couple and their children, I believe you dropped off. I think you dropped that pack off. I think you dropped that pack off. Yeah, I don't know. You can't fuck with me all type of ways.
Wife all together.
Now, this contradicts a previous statement he made where he claimed to have cut all ties with Epstein in 2005. And what's even crazier is that newly released documents appear to show that Lutnick remained in contact with Epstein through 2018, 15 years after he claimed to have cut ties with the convicted sex.
15 years after you said a man was sick. He was sick. Me and my wife came up with this thing that we would never go. He had a massage table sitting in the middle of the floor. I said, damn.
Offenders. So the reporter asked a simple question. Does any of this matter to the White House? And the response was this.
No, Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary. I will just point out that there are a lot of wins in the news this week that people are continue to ask questions about the same subjects.
Look at Pam face in the back. Look at Pam. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, Pam like, oh shit.
Let me point them out for you.
Now, just to give some quick context as to why this situation matters beyond just the optics, sitting officials are expected of interest and entanglements that compromise their service. However, there is no formal mechanism that forces a cabinet secretary to resign over personal associations. That decision sits almost entirely with the president. Congress can. That is a process that.
Wait, man. Wait till you see the next clip I'm about to show.
Requires a House vote and 2/3 majority conviction from the Senate. So all of this to say, the president supports the secretary. They have essentially decided that ties to Epstein are not a problem. Secretary seems annoyed reporters keep bringing up is a sitting cabinet member's ties pivoted to talking about wins, which, if you remember from yesterday, is similar to what Attorney General Pam Bondi did during hearing on the Epstein Transparency Act. Here is an example.
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be.
While we're on the subject of the Pam Bondi hearing, Congresswoman Jasmine...
They putting penis on Pam Bondi head. Somebody done put a penis on Pam Bondi head. I ain't gonna lie to you. Somebody done put a penis on Pam Bondi head. I ain't gonna let, cause Pam Bondi hold nuts. I'll hold your ding-a-ling for you, Trump. I'll hold it. Pee in my hand. I'ma hold my hand like a cup. You can pee in my hand. I said, damn. She done let that man pee in her hand.
Crockett appeared to drop an absolute bombshell at the hearing. Check this out.
I don't know what the president might have done with Jeffrey Epstein, but unlike this administration, I believe the fact matters. So let's talk about the facts. Fact number one, Donald Trump is one of the most named people in the Epstein files. At least 5,000 files contains more than 38,000 references to Trump, his wife, or Mar-a-Lago. Fact number two, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell made young girls available to Trump on multiple occasions. For example,
like Trump, you boo-booing on the side of the building, Trump. Give me 300,000. I'll clean it up for you. That's Pam Bondi. Give me 300. I'll clean that shit up for you off the ground.
According to this file, Ghislaine Maxwell presented a young girl to President Trump who spent more than 20 minutes apparently flirting with her.
None of this is proven. The Congresswoman is just reading what she has seen in the files, but Crockett didn't stop. She then went after the Attorney General directly.
Watch
Democratic colleagues have been attacked. This entire committee hearing, they have been lied on, and frankly, the American people weren't looking for that. They were looking for answers about the corruption that they see coming from this administration. In the written testimony of this witness, she stated that when she took office, she had two main goals. The first was to end the weaponization of justice, and second, to return the department to its core mission. Not only have you lied about both, you've intentionally done the exact opposite.
I said, damn.
You're spending more taxpayer resources arresting journalists than you are prosecuting pedophiles and creeps.
And then she brought it home with this.
Saying that the president is a pedophile, but there is a lot of evidence in the files that suggests that he's very close friends with a lot of men who are pedophiles. What's crazy about all of this is just that this is a big cover-up.
I said, damn.
Is engaged in. In fact, this administration is complicit.
Bondi responded by saying this.
This is what she didn't want to talk about.
What she didn't want to talk about?
Texas, from convicted homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Well, he started a fire. The nigga started a goddamn fire. He an arsonist. He started a goddamn fire. That ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. He started a fire. Let's go, gang.
So what we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, and you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
And as I mentioned previously in the video, the internet continues to uncover more shocking files released by the DOJ. In this one, a man that goes by the name of Brian Bishop sent an email to Epstein that reads, attached is the doc you requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the designer baby and cloning.
I said damn. Now we finna get to the fucking meat and potatoes. You motherfuckers, I told you people, leave my channel alone. This is the reason why they be trying to sabotage my channel like yesterday. I was in New Mexico yesterday. I was up in New Mexico, had to turn the whole goddamn live off because them folks was over there listening to me from that damn satellite. They was over there listening to me when I was in New Mexico yesterday. I showed y'all on my timeline I was out there. And when I went live, they kept turning my live off like they did this on when I started this one. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Yeah, they know I know. They try to sabotage my channel. Now, I tried to tell y'all what was going on from Jump Street. Now, listen.
And Bishop sent an email to Epstein that reads, attached is the doc you requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the designer baby and human cloning company. This gets us
designer baby and human cloning company.
Wow.
designer babies and human cloning company.
You want me to read that?
No, you good. They heard it, baby. You good. Okay. Screenshot this for the blind folks. Send this to your niece and nephews and aunties and cousins and them.
Then you can zoom in.
And tell them we ain't playing on this internet and now we run YouTube. Ain't nobody just go ahead and type up. Listen, gang, let me do you all type of ways. Yeah, I'm gonna kick you in your ass. I'm gonna knock the rubber out the elastic in your drawers. Don't nobody waste no motherfucking time, right, gang? And type some shit. Yeah, I'm gonna just go type up. I'm gonna go think this in my mind and go type. I'm just trying to make it for the dope fiends that don't understand. The motherfuckers that lighting up that Brillo up in that dope house and that's finna blow up like Richard Pryor and get some plastic surgery. I said, damn. Do you all type of ways. Oh, this motherfucker, I'm gonna just go ahead and get on the computer. Look, gang. I'm gonna just go ahead and get on the computer real quick. For what? Just write up something. Write up what? Write up something to Epstein. For what? What you gonna write up? I'm gonna just go write up something that say that it got a human cloning company about babies and all. Ain't nobody getting on no goddamn computer writing this dumbass shit unless it's true. Boy, I'm gonna make you motherfuckers madder than 10 niggas. They gonna be madder than 10 niggas when I get on the internet. What you doing, C-Dub? I'm finna go write up. I'm finna go get on my computer. For what? I'm finna go type up some stuff about a baby cloning. For what, gang? I just want to go do it. You know what I mean? Who you typing it to? To myself. Ah, you stupid motherfucker. You stupid motherfucker. They trying to play us, gang, and we on their ass.
Out of our self-funded garage biology phase to the first live birth of a human designer baby and possibly a human clone within.
Human designer baby. We gonna get to that. I'm gonna kick you in your ass. I'm gonna kick these folks in their ass. Let's go.
5 years. Once we reach the first birth, everything changes and the world will never be the same again, much less the future of the human species. Another email in the file, allegedly sent from Jeffrey Epstein to a man named Barnaby Marshy, reads, should we build a mind reader? It would use...
I said, damn, I'm done. Put a fork in me. I can't keep bringing y'all this shit. They gonna get me in trouble. They gonna try to get Damn, they motherfuckers gonna... Oh shit, gang. I don't even know. We gonna get in trouble tonight, gang. Let's get it. Let's fuck it. We gonna all go to jail tonight. We going to jail together. Fuck it. Y'all coming with me.
Future of the human species. Another email in the files, allegedly sent from Jeffrey Epstein to a man named...
Bro, we finna get in trouble tonight, bro. Bro, we finna get in trouble tonight. Let's go.
Barnaby Marshy reads, should we build a mind reader?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. They got mind readers up in this motherfucker. Ooh, and they talking with the AI. Oh, Lord.
Encryption, new understandings of the brain. Can we involve the New York ACAD of Sciences in one of our projects? I think it would be good for you as well as them. Should we do a project on tissue regeneration? Woo! And in parentheses, it says cloning. What? I'm excited to accompany you as a voyeur on Madarin's adventure. This gives the public a peek into what Epstein was possibly interested in outside the world of finance. Now, as each day goes on, people come up with new theories and new opinions regarding the DOJ's release of the Epstein files, and the public continues to dig through the millions of redacted documents that the DOJ has released, along with lawmakers doing the same thing. And as the months continue to go on, lawmakers are going to find more and more and more things in those unredacted files that are hopefully released to the public to give everybody a much clearer view about what was possibly going on with Epstein and his inner circle. As always, drop a comment down below. My name is Jackson Buhai, and I will see you in the next one.
Okay, these people. Hold on, gang.
Betting on the right guy.
Hold on, hold the phone real quick. Hold the goddamn phone. I'm about to do these people. Oh, goddamn type of ways. Let me do, I can't show nobody my archive because this motherfucker shit get deep, boy. My shit Boy, my shit get deep. Boy, I'm telling you, these motherfuckers try to play my channel. Well, why you doing like that, C-Dub? Because I know what I'm doing. These folks try to play my channel.
All right, welcome.
They try to play with my channel. Yeah. So I bring you nothing but facts. Hit the like button. This is information you need to know before I take you into the last clip after this one. Hit my like button. We almost up to 60 likes. We need 2 more
Hollywood,
likes.
thinking there's nothing wrong going to a convicted pedophile.
Y'all ain't seen this shit. Let's go. Well, some of you might. If you're a tracker. Yeah, if you're tracking. Track me. Thank you guys for coming out tonight.
To release.
Uh-oh.
First of all, it's good to see you in person.
You too. Let's get some brain food. This is food for thought.
See, you're just on a Zoom screen, and I appreciate your voice. It's been so disturbing and disgusting. I mean, look, I've met these survivors for months. They've come into Congressman Thomas Massey in my offices. They have broken down in tears. People talk about being raped at 13, 14, and then being told to recruit
No, we got
others
2 more videos.
where they're going to continue to be raped. One person said it's like a box.
The next one is the hair buster.
But it comes back. Me and Miss Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, this became very personal.
Hey, y'all, if you haven't hit the like button, let's get up to 60 likes. Let's get, if you can't double tap your screen, because the last video I'm about to show y'all, bro, y'all gonna be shook. I promise you it's gonna be worth it. So you got 3 buttons on the right-hand side since we vertical. If you push those 3 buttons, it's gonna be a like in there if you can't double tap the screen. Let's get this up to 60 likes, gang. Thank you. Let's get this up to 60 likes, because I promise you the next video, you're gonna trip out. We got Luke Skywalker exposing Donald Trump. Let's go.
And to see the level of people who are involved.
60 likes. I appreciate y'all, man.
The most famous people and powerful people in finance, in business, in Hollywood, thinking there's nothing wrong going to a convicted pedophile's island and watching at parties where girls are being paraded naked, or knowing that young girls are being raped. I mean, it is just horrifying to me. It's genuinely horrifying.
I don't mean to stop. I know you guys gonna look. I'm not gonna really do much talking unless it's really important. But watch this video, and the video is gonna key in. Thank you, Nurse59, for the super chat. I really appreciate that, gang. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, guys. So look, watch this part, right? And then this next video is gonna be exclusive. But then after that one, we got one more that's gonna talk about, because remember, it's they cloning and they dealing with babies, right? So when we get to that, after the next clip is gonna shock you. Let's go, gang.
And that's why I call this one of the things. Many of them didn't have a father, so they were being preyed on in that kind of calculated way. And the people who were abusing and raping them were rich and powerful and knew politicians and told them don't call the police. So it's this abuse of power that people, for their own gratification, treated these folks as disposable for years.
What percentage of the Epstein files have you seen?
I have seen more than probably most, but it's still 2%, because they have files that they're allowing us to see, and unredacted versions of million that they've totally scrubbed, the FBI. But they give us 1 hour to do it in a cubicle about the size of the studio with 4.
So why do you think they're giving them 1 hour? Because they want them to take forever to do it so they can continue to hide shit. How the hell they can only go in there for 1 hour, gang? Think about it. They should be able to sit in there as long as they want for this United States government. What the hell do they only get to go in there for 1 hour for? So it'll take them forever to go through them all so they can fucking keep redacting shit like they want to. Hit my like button.
Computers. So they've kept a lot of it hidden. And I have more insight because I've got a great team, and one person, without revealing her confidence, said, look, I was 17 in in France, and I was raped in a building by someone who had lived in the same building as Jeffrey Epstein.
Wow.
And this person's in the files, and he's left the United States, and he left France because he doesn't want to be under any jurisdiction. And she's like, why aren't we investigating this person? Why aren't we prosecuting this person? And I can't tell you how many cases there are like that. They're not all famous people. They're just rich and powerful men who raped these girls, and there's no investigation, no prosecution. And one of them texted me after Pam Bondi, and she said, I've lost. Right? I mean, all the pundits are looking at this, who insulted who came out ahead. And the survivors are just saying, what is going on in this country that we can't get investigations and prosecution?
Ridiculous, immature, smug performance was most of all was a direct insult to these victims, and such a flagrant expression that your voice doesn't matter. But what I have to think about is these women came forward a long time ago during the Obama administration.
Yes.
And if we take it all the way back, we have Democratic DOJs, and then Trump's DOJ, where Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. And then, I said that in quotes, if for those of you that are listening. And then we have Merrick Garland's DOJ, where that wasn't even investigated at all. Correct. And now it's back here. And because of you and your bipartisanship, we are pushing forward. And it's just unbelievable to me. I heard Jamie Raskin say that he thinks Trump's name is in the files over 1 million times.
1 million.
He did, and Jamie is not one to exaggerate. I mean, he's very precise, and he looked at some of the searches and came to that conclusion. I mean, Trump's all over it, as are, by the way, people in his own cabinet and administration. I mean, the fact that Lutnick is still in the cabinet should just be horrifying, regardless of your politics. He is our representative, our face of business to the world. And he takes his family to Epstein's Island after he knows that Epstein is a convicted pedophile, and he lies about it, and then he has alleged business dealings with it. And Donald Trump, who from his own documents calls up the police in 2006 saying, I know that Epstein is doing some horrible things with young girls. He has Howard Lutnick in his cabinet, even though Lutnick was doing business with this guy after Trump called. The fact that we're not willing to say, Republicans and Democrats, that Lutnick doesn't need to go sends a message that we're just okay with this, that if you have wealth, if you have power, there's no accountability. And look at other countries. I mean, the British monarchy is in trouble. The British government may fall. Norway, the princess is not going to become queen because of the lack of public support. In Sweden and Austria, they're investigating anyone who had any correspondence with Epstein. Yet in our country, there isn't the sense of accountability.
And it seems that there's a through line between January 6th and the Epstein files. And what it is that after low-level offenders in January 6th, they never went after who funded it.
Exactly.
All of those people that ended up becoming convicted and then got a pardon, these are people that got radicalized online. Somebody paid their way up to D.C. They committed these crimes.
Right.
Now we know since then that Trump has spent $3 million of his own money to fund January 6th. But DOJ set on the rich people that funded it, much like they're doing with the Epstein files. And what's been so jarring for me with the Epstein files are the timestamps.
Right.
After somebody is a convicted pedophile, Howard, we're bringing our children, and here are their genders and ages. That's some weird shit.
That really is.
I mean, that's just unbelievable that you don't have as a parent. We're not going there. And the fact that Howard Lutnick with the New York Post tried to provide cover before this came out, and every time I open up my phone, a new person from Trump's orbit has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Dr. Oz has entered the Epstein chat.
I saw that.
It's almost as if all got together and said, look, we have to go back and get these files or we're all going down. I mean, it's what leads you to believe the collusion and the cover up and the coordination with all of these men to suppress it. And then you have Pam Bondi, who is gender washing the whole thing. The sweetheart deal and the prison moving of Ghislaine Maxwell. Could you imagine if that happened under Democratic DOJ?
Yeah, I mean, so much for law and order. I mean, they're basically taking someone who is a convicted pedophile, who facilitated the abuse and rape of these young girls. And she has the audacity to testify saying, I know who the other men are. I can name them, but I'm...
Okay, track. I want to thank Nurse 59 for donating to the channel. You have done so much for my channel. I just want to tell my appreciation to you. You've been just wonderful. And all my supporters, Damon, all my mods, you guys are great. You've been sticking with me even when I was down. And we came right back, and we continue to keep punching, and we keep pushing, and we're just going to get great. So Band-Aid Gang and everybody that's watching, please hit the notification bell. There's a lot of information here in this live. So where we're at right now, all my studiers, all my people, all my trackers, we're going to come back to this left off here because there's a lot of information here. And we're going to stay here at the Zorro Ranch, and there's more information. I want to get this out, so everybody hold tight. Let me go ahead and get this, because that's how we're going to keep things in the algorithms. Thank you so much, Lamont, because there's so much information, and everything comes out every day. It's all going to key in. So I'm going to keep this on our timeline because it's going to be more information, and then we can put the puzzle pieces together like we've been doing on the channel. So let's get to this right here. I'm going to drop this for 1 second, gang. I'm not trying to... Give me 1 second. Boom. Give me 1 second. I'm still here. Let me get this for you guys. It's some intel that I want to show you guys. Some more information here. Okay. So, hit the like button, gang. Thank you so much.
We can get our money up. So then when
let's get down here, gang. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all this. It's important. I'm about to show y'all this. Y'all gonna trip. Now listen to this shit. Y'all gonna trip on this. Keep this in the archive. We gonna keep this in the archive too, Band-Aid Gang. We gonna keep this in our library because our library is exclusive. I'm getting ready to put this up for y'all. Okay, right about here is where we're gonna start. Let's go. Very important that we watch this.
So, and you see that she's in a car that says Trump. I mean, you see what's going on here. Here, play this clip.
I'm not going to do just any commercial. I'm not going to sell out.
U.S. Open champion, Monica Seles.
I'm not giving up my acting lessons. No way. And I'm not going to Disney World.
So then we look at the Midas Touch Network unearthed footage of the 1991 Look of the Year modeling competition with 14-year-old girls. They said it was from 14 to 28, but all of the sources there said the girls were really 14, 15, 16-year-old girls who Donald Trump made them parade in front of him wearing swimsuits and like wearing very little clothing. Here, play this clip. You'll see the MTN logo. We found this. This has been viewed like literally hundreds of millions of times right now. Play this clip.
The 58 contestants participated in an exhaustive round of personal interviews designed to help our judges discover what makes each one special.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The concentration was intense inside the judging room.
I don't like you as you are.
And out.
I'm so excited.
Each girl was considered not only for her beauty and poise, but also for her personality and that indefinable
something extra that makes a top model.
Okay, you want to pull your hair back 1 second? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Good luck for tonight.
Thank you. When it came time to choose the 21 finalists, emotions ran high. Each judge expressed his or her opinion.
And then they go and party on a yacht together. Play this clip.
For the spirit of New York. The ever-present paparazzi took advantage of the numerous photo opportunities. and everyone was entranced by the views. Despite the long day behind them and the work that lay ahead, the girls just didn't want to quit.
Little girls, young girls.
Here's one more clip from that event.
The Look of the Year contest is the ultimate contest for women that want to go all the way in the modeling.
Just look at him. Look at him. Get a good look at him, gang. Get a good look at him. Get a good look at him. Let's go.
Featuring 58 of the world's most beautiful young women, competing for more than 700...
Beautiful young women. Listen how they talking. Beautiful young women.
$1,000 in prizes. The chance of a dream come true. Career as one of modeling's superstars. We'll take you behind the scenes and onto the runway. You see the fun, feel the excitement.
Hit my like button.
You'll pick your favorite, along with our panel of expert and celebrity
little girls.
Enjoy front row VIP seats at our gala evening. One of these contestants will be selected as Girls Look of the Year.
You see right here what the girls looked like. I mean, these were little girls. Look, these are little girls in over here. And then photos of Donald Trump looking at them. Real absolute creepy. So then Midas Touch also unearthed the footage of, as I mentioned, 2 Live Crew rap star from the early 1990s, Uncle Luke.
Listen
he talks
Luke
about
Skywalker.
going to a Mar-a-Lago party. He left right away.
Listen to Luke Skywalker.
He thought he was going to get extorted because the girls all looked underage, or a lot of them looked so young, he said, that he had to get the hell out of there, because just using his words, because he didn't want anything to do with what he was seeing there. He said that that there was sex and underage girls, and this is what he observed, and he wanted to get the hell out of there. Here's what he said.
Man took us around the house. Okay, he said, look, I got all these women. I got these women from the pageant. They're going to be there. So we went. He was like, hey, man, I got a pageant down here. I'm hosting these women at the house, okay, up in Palm Beach. They send some cars to pick us up. We get in the cars. We drive up there. Me, Mike, Eddie Murphy, we all in our own individual cars. Car service drove us up there. We got there. He showed us around the house, told us about this mansion and the history behind it and all that. Just the golf course. It was dark. We couldn't see the golf course and things like that. And then before you know it, hey man, y'all enjoy yourself. We got cocktails and everything. And before you know it, the rooms and everything start popping. There wasn't no DJ. It was more of hey, get in where you fit in. Whatever room you're gonna go in, you go into that room.
So you say no DJ? There was no music? Or the music was piped in?
No, there wasn't no music.
No music.
That was the interesting part about it. It wasn't no music.
So women just naked in rooms with no music.
Hey, people walking around. It was, listen, it wasn't nothing wrong with that. I was happy to be at that party, but then at the end of the day, when I started looking at some faces, I was like, man, these girls don't look like they're old enough. I didn't ask nobody their age. And then all the other stuff going on, it was like, okay, I can't be up here. I got to go. If I'm going to jail, then somebody's going to extort me. I really, I don't do drugs. Never did it in my life. I smoked marijuana 2 times, when I was in high school, and I didn't like the experience. As far as drugs, I may have sold drugs. I never liked the people who I sold them to when I was young, because I thought they were stupid for buying it. So I never cared to indulge in it. So when I do see people doing it, if I'm around it, I get away from it.
And here's more from Luke right here.
Let me tell you, the thing is, when you're around, I've been around a lot of models and a lot of these pageant women, because that's what mostly it was. It was mostly pageant women. And a lot of these women ain't of age. So when you got a whole bunch of these women running around, whether they of age or not, there's a lot of things going on. You just, some women look too young.
Oh,
so you keep it moving.
I see.
So it wasn't nobody beating no women or nobody taking advantage of no women. I mean, they were all enjoying themselves. That's what they were there for. But were they old enough to be enjoying themselves? I don't know.
Was there sex?
Of course there was.
I guess that's a stupid question now to ask. Okay, so I think I got you now. You're saying that all this was going on and you weren't clear as to whether these were adults.
I wasn't clear whether or not they were adults, and I wasn't clear whether or not, whether I wanted to be in that kind of environment where some of these other things that was going on in there. I ain't gonna too much elaborate about everything else that was going on outside of the sexual act. But
my brother, we love for you too. We love for you too. That's why we on Sirius XM, because we can open it up. We on Sirius XM. We can bust it wide open right here.
The drugs and the alcohol and the sex and all that, but I ain't gonna talk about the drugs and the alcohol and the sex.
Hey, somebody get Connie up out of here. Tighten him up. Get him up out of here. Ain't nobody made nothing by no AI. Stop letting Trump pee in your hand. Stop letting Trump pee in your hand.
Mods, get him out.
Get him up out of here, Mods. Dang, get him up out of here. Get Connie out of here.
Get him out of here.
Don't come over here with that. Don't come over here with that. It's children involved over here, gang.
Y'all be respectful.
I don't care if it's an assumption or anything. It's children involved over here. Until we get down to the bottom of it, we gonna keep pushing a hard line.
But now you say that if you were on XM, you could talk about it. So that's why we here, man. I mean, people, inquiring minds want to know.
I said I can use the profanity and all that. Yeah.
We got him, Lamont.
Naked people and all that. But then the drug part, I don't want to talk about that part of it.
And that brings us, of course, to Michael Wolff, where he said these are the photos that Jeffrey Epstein showed him. I think this is noteworthy as well. Let's play this clip.
And I've said before that Epstein used to bring out this set of pictures. There were about a dozen snapshots, and among them, there are at least three that I remember. Two of topless girls sitting in Trump's lap around Epstein's swimming pool, and then one with a stain on the front of Trump with 3 or 4 girls laughing and pointing at it. So I have seen those pictures.
So what's your best guess as to where they are?
Well, I'm my best guess is that Epstein kept them in the safe. The safe was emptied out by the FBI. Where are those pictures?
And of course, there's this story right here.
So the FBI, we calling them female body instructors. I said, damn. So the FBI is female body instructors. So they ain't put it out. So they instructing the female's body. Female body instructors. FBI. They ain't giving up everything. I said, damn, female body instructors. I said, damn.
Here of a businessman by the name of George Ornay. He ran American Dream Calendar Girls Beauty Contest, which had been running in Las Vegas casinos since 1978. He recalls his encounter with Epstein at Mar-a-Lago in January 1993. Ornay says that Trump asked him to organize a party that month with some of his pageant's finalists, promising to invite heads of modeling agencies and prospective sponsors for Trump's competition. He had me fly in all these girls and give me $30,000 budget for airfares and limos to pick the girls up at the airport. The girls were all decked out, expecting to meet all these VIPs, but after an hour at the party, Ornay says, there seemed to be only one other guest, Jeffrey Epstein. I was like, Donald, where are the guys? What's going on here? And he said, well, this is it. Ornay says he realized this is a Jeffrey Epstein party. Basically, while suspicious of Epstein, Ornay was keen to have Trump as partner. A month earlier in December, Trump had met with Ornay and Jill Harth, who ran a pageant altogether. They were looking for a new sponsor for their contest, which each year saw models between the ages of 16 and 22. I mean, again, we're talking about very young girls. By now, you also know of what Donald Trump said about, well, I'll show you this, this clip that we unearthed. This is where Trump alludes and hiring teenage girls for his planes, which is his form of alcoholism. Let me play that one for you.
My name is Juliet. I have a question. My question is, how many jets do you have and how would I apply to be a flight attendant?
I think she's hired. I had a case. It was very interesting. A beautiful girl who was 17 or 18 applied to be a waitress. She's so beautiful. She's like a world-class beauty. Like the young lady who just asked the question about the actress. She's so beautiful. And my people came, she said, well, Mr. Trump, she has no experience. Show your computer right away, because she was suffering. And I said, let me ask you, do you have any experience? She goes, no, sir. I said, when can you start? You don't even work at my place anytime. See, now, she worked at my place. That's like a death wish for me, right? That's like an alcoholic. I have many friends that are wonderful people. They're alcoholics. You put scotch in front of them. It's like, this would be my form of alcoholism. Okay, yes, ma'am.
And this is what Donald Trump says he does with girls at beauty pageants. You can play this clip right here.
What you could also say is the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant. Therefore, I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So, you can judge for yourself.
So, gang, look. I know it. Go get it out, Angel. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out.
That is so sick, and that's our fucking president?
Yeah. We doing all the time.
That's a sicko.
Now watch this, gang. Now, this is.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You feel the expression. You're a female. You're supposed to express yours. You know what I'm saying? That could be your daughter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That could be. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. I want to leave this gym with you guys so you can marinate. Remember, Band-Aid gang, bring your study caps tomorrow because we still got more than half of some things to. We're gonna keep it where we are. Therefore, that everything that we bring up next will be all pulling intact. So we'll be on the right track. Let me get to this meat and potato real quick. I'm a mute Mike. I'm muting Mike so I can get to what we need to be. I'm going to cover screen. Hold on, gang. Stay right there. I'm leaving some for you guys to take home tonight.
My name is Gordon Wilson. I'm a college professor.
Let me get to the meat and potatoes. Hit the like button. Mods, I'm coming in. Hold on. We finna come in. We gonna dive. We gonna end this.
Disturbing hiking
we got
incidents
Phil
ever
Snyder.
reported.
We got Phil Snyder tomorrow. Hold tight. I'm gonna give you this gem. Phil Snyder tomorrow. We almost there. Hold on, gang.
Cheers.
This is how we gonna leave it. Hold on, gang. This is all my gang. Hold on. We got this. Hold on. Hold on, gang. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I got to show y'all this before we leave.
Yeah.
You have to see this before we leave.
Hold tight. This is very
This is an important gem. It's going to match with the last piece of what we got to talk about.
Yep.
And then y'all will be on point.
Mm-hmm. Give us one
last second. Hold on. I'm getting to it.
We scrolling through it.
We scrolling through it. We finna get through it. We finna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch this in order to understand exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta get to him. He almost there. I think
Thank
this is
y'all
it.
for the hearts.
This is it right here. Here it is. Hold on. Here it is, gang. Thank y'all for the hearts. Write this down. We got Phil Snyder along with the rest of the stuff. We're going back. Oh, now listen. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get it. Right. Hold on. Let me get it right here. Hold on. Let me make sure it play.
Okay.
Almost as if it...
Now here it is. Now listen to this.
Yep.
Now, gang, hold on. I'm gonna undo the camera. Now everybody. Tomorrow we got Phil Snyder because Phil Snyder, Billy Myers. We got Billy Myers tomorrow. We're going back to the tunnels. We got Billy Myers. We're going back to the tunnels tomorrow. More intel, and we're digging deep about what's going on. So let's end with this one. Phil Snyder tomorrow. Make sure you tap in. Let's go.
Natural phenomenon that we don't yet understand. But despite decades of listening and targeted searching, nothing like it has ever been detected. So what do you think? Was it random space noise?
Here it come right now.
Something intentional?
Almost as if they're storing extra people for a reason. Yeah, I told you this is heavy stuff. So now you ask me, well, why would they want to harvest human beings? Let me ask you this. What has been done since the beginning of time? Think about the pyramids and the reason, in Maya and Egypt, what they would do on these pyramids, what they would offer on these pyramids, what they would offer to their deities, what their deities want. The Bible tells us, there's a fluid in the body that we are not supposed to ingest, neither for humans.
There's a fluid in the body. Let's do them all type of ways. Hold on. They're going to stop playing with my channel. There is a fluid in the body. Could that be adrenochrome? That what? Feeds off of what? Fear. And they rub that on their face because they consider that what? The fountain of youth. Let's continue to rock a show.
Nor animals, for it is the life, the blood their deities want. The Bible tells us, there's a fluid in the body that we are not supposed to ingest, neither for...
The fluid in the body is what? Adrenochrome? Yes, he did. Phil Snyder fought the reptilians, knocked off 3 of his fingers, severed his chest, and knocked the boots off of his feet. And he was building bombs. I know everything about it. Phil Snyder ended up dead after he did that, and he was almost assassinated before he did that live, and he had secret medals and everything, and we're going to talk about it. Let's go, Band-Aid.
Humans, nor animals, for it is the life, the blood. So speaking about fallen angels, what were these inverted beings want?
What do they want? Band-Aid gang, Lamont, you already know what's up. Band-Aid gang, go back, Lamont, and watch the movie called War of the World. Go watch War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds was exactly what Phil Snyder was saying. The aliens, I ain't even gonna go there. Because people gonna think I'm crazy. People gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'm not. They wanted the blood. Watch Devil's Advocate at the movie Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino at the end. What happened? They wanted blood. Let's continue.
I can tell you, which are spirit, the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. They love your energy. They love your...
The Nephilims what? Were the giants. What was the land of the Nephilims? Huh? Iraq. That's where they had the Baghdad battery. Iraq. That's why they went over there. You know why? Because there was a Stargate over there. Let's go.
Fear. They love your fear. They devour your fear. But the fallen angels, the same ones that mated with women and took wives, which means they knew each other. That's what the Bible means. It means they take wives. It means they knew each other so they could have these giants. So we know they're physical. So maybe they want that life force, right? And of course, that's not to mention that, you know.
Hold on. Let me. Y'all hold on. They trying to sabotage my channel. Hold on.
Right? And then they can experience this world in the flesh as they did before the mighty flood came. And you might still be on the ledge thinking, can this be true? Look at our own Congress daily putting out a whole bunch of slop about these UFOs and these interdimensional creatures. You know, way back before they were calling them interdimensional creatures, I was showing documents from our own government which shows that they are interdimensional beings. Which is why we gained all this weird stuff, right? Because it's not just demonic spirits, it's also fallen angels. Not just fallen angels, it's a whole host of wickedness in heavenly places. In the Bible, parallels upon parallels said that things that men's hearts will fail them for what comes upon the earth. Even in Isaiah, it talks about this type of creature that lives in the branches of the clouds, and it calls them the.
Was that the preacher that creature that was locked up in that goddamn big ass that big ass safe that they had up in the house? Let's go.
I've made videos in the past where I could show you on games and movies. They would call these grays the Aris. So the government is pushing it. We've had all this disclosure. The thing about this disclosure, which I really want to get into everybody's head, this disclosure is not for you. These people are not on our side.
Divide and conquer. Now let's give you a test. They're not on your side, dope fiend. Oh, I'm gonna just let Trump pee in my hand. Trump can pee in my hand if I want to. I ain't never met him. No, I ain't never met him. I ain't never met him, but he can pee in my hand. He can stick his dick on the top of my head, and I'll be like, oh, Trump, I love you. Well, let's do them all type of ways. You know what they did? Let me tell you what they did to you. Let me tell you what they did to your Band-Aid gang. We beat you. Let me tell you, Lamont, what they had done did with that thing right there. They did a test, right? They did this test, and they took a microchip from a cell phone, and they put the food over here, and they put the microchip right there, right? The microchip set off a vibration, a signal, and the mice, when they set off the signal and left the cheese there for the mice, guess what the mice kept doing? It wouldn't even eat. It wouldn't even eat the food, gang. It kept running back to the microchip. Because it was a vibration. Our bodies run off vibrations. And guess what that vibration is? Which is the mark of the beast. Your cell phone. Your cell phone sends off a vibration. Some motherfuckers don't even eat. And they use mice to figure it out. They put the food on one side and they put the microchip on the other side. And they set off the vibration of the microchip, and the mice kept going over to the goddamn chip. It wouldn't even eat. Let's continue to track. That's too much information.
They give you part truths for a reason. Because they're about to deceive the entire world.
Most people think that UFOs come from space, right? That they travel light years across galaxies to visit us in a little vehicle. But what if that's the wrong assumption? I think it is. What if the real assumption is that they're not really extraterrestrials? So here's the thing that keeps bothering me. Stick with me. A huge percentage of UFO sightings are not in the sky. They're in the oceans or near them. Naval pilots have reported objects that dive into the water, transmedium without slowing down, without blasting, without heat signatures, tic-tacs. They call them USOs, unidentified submerged objects. Christopher Columbus saw one. And the ocean is the least explored place on Earth. We've mapped more of Mars than our own deep sea. So, if something wanted to hide on this planet, where would it go? Now imagine this. An advanced intelligence didn't arrive recently, didn't crash here, didn't invade. It's been here. maybe longer than us. In fact, probably definitely. Maybe evolving alongside us, quietly, undetected. That's what's happening. The idea is actually more disturbing than aliens from space, because space aliens are visitors. But something living here, that means we're not alone on our own planet. It means the human story isn't the main story. It means Earth might have always been shared. And suddenly, a lot of things make more sense. I really believe this. Why governments seem super uncomfortable talking about UFOs. Why the narrative is always outer space, Martians. Why the language shifted from UFOs to UAPs. It's easier to say we don't know what's in the sky than to admit we don't know what's in the ocean. So, I'm not saying this is 1000% true, but I believe it is.
Do your research!
Is UFO psychologically, that's a way harder reality to accept, right? So, maybe the biggest revelation isn't that aliens exist. Maybe it's ancient, intelligent, and hidden. Could be von Neumann machines. Something that's learned to live beneath our notice. While we looked up at the stars, they were already here. Watching, waiting, adapting. And they don't want to talk to us. So if that's true, the question isn't, are we alone in the universe? It's way worse. The question is, have we ever been alone on Earth? Tell me what you think. Are they coming from space? Or are they coming from the ocean?
Moon Henry's partly right, but...
Now, I said, damn. Now, here's what we gonna do. Now, Pam, I see you on the picture. I don't know X. Yeah, I know where we going, but I don't know where you going. I don't know if they're gonna get you up out of here. Now, here's another jewel that I'm gonna leave you with. Right? Let's go to the water. I don't want to give y'all too much information. In the water, and when you look at the terrain in the desert, right? Now, I ain't gonna get on the spiritual science 12. We're gonna cover spiritual science 12, right? So I'm gonna leave you with two things before we leave. Mars is what, gang? Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. Track me now, let me cook. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. Earth is what? The third. Earth is the third, so which means that the Earth is closer to the sun. All right, hold on, Chip and Chat. Hold on, my dog's barking.
Chip, be quiet.
Look, so look. If Earth is the third planet from the sun, right? Wouldn't the Earth be redder than Mars? Because it's closer to the sun. But the Mars looks like what? The California desert. Mars looks like the desert. So Mars, being that it was the fourth planet, Earth should be more redder because it's close to the sun. But Mars, they practiced something called the Lucifer effect. And that planet was blown up. No, this is facts. This is facts. Just say no, this is facts. Think about it. All you have to do is think. The thought was the cause of it all. The thought was the cause of it all. See, you're talking to a scientist. Earth would be red, right? But they practiced something called the Lucifer effect, and they blew up that planet. And that's why you have the Milky Way, which is a base of rocks, which was a planet that was blown up. There was a planet there. Y'all get in here. There was a war. Don't forget about the Sumerians and the Anunnakis. Oh, but that's another subject. I don't want to feed a baby steak. I can't feed a baby steak. But the last piece of the puzzle, when you look underwater, you have something called the octopus. Now, Lamont, you looked at Phil Schneider and he said that the alien that they got, he has the blood of an octopus and an IQ out of this world. Okay, and he's in a spacesuit. So, an octopus. Would an octopus being underwater, and if they do live underwater, would the octopus be the satellite? Because if a fish, think about it, if a fish is at something at the bottom, as it comes up and it's coming up to the top of the water, if a fish comes out of the water, what? It can't breathe. Same as above is below. So the octopus could be the satellite, right? In a fish space. And when that fish comes out of the water, it dies because it can't breathe, right? So wouldn't that kind of be like it is here now? Because we're 70% water. So once we were underwater, so if we go up to the firmament, and we'll talk about that later, and we get out of the firmament, we can't breathe like we're underwater again, right? But we'll talk about that later. Hit my like button, Band-Aid gang. We're going to start off. We will be live sometime tomorrow, if not the day after, because we will be gathering intel on this channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Band-Aid gang, you know where we gonna stay? We gonna stay on them farms. We gonna stay on them ranches. We gonna continue to surf around there, and we're gonna find out more ranches, and we're gonna find a connection. There are dents in that mountain on Epstein Island, and there was also satellites, and I will show a video tomorrow that he also had a runway. Band-Aid gang, we in this thing right here. I know it get hard out here, but we in this thing, and it's called life, and we in it together. So don't be worried about the struggle. Be happy you're above the ground instead of up under it. Share love because there's too much hate in the world. But always stay woke. Always don't sleep. Keep your third eye open. Keep your third eye open. Don't shut it. Stay woke. Believe the unexpected because you don't even know how your ass got here. I said, damn. Band-Aid gang, it's your boy C-Dove. Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying. And I said, damn. With the
Real Angel.
And we beat you, Band-Aid gang. Make sure y'all subscribe to my sister. The Great Spills the Tea is her channel, and she be on her grind. Shouts out to Peanut Butter Face. Shouts out to the Boogie Man. Shouts out to everybody that pushed this whole journey in this hard line. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We don't go the same way. We take the thin road, not the broad one. We don't live on that type of time. Thank God. Thank you all. Thank for God bringing you in my life. Thank you, Nurse 59, for the super chat. Please share this out to friends. Share it on your Facebooks or whatever the case may be. Let's get the likes up. Let's keep this video in the algorithms. We love y'all. And we beat you. Band-Aid gang. I said damn. Peace.